Okay, cool. So we're live for the last day of GaryCon, virtual GaryCon as it would be, and I'm running some Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea. This is kind of a D&D 1E slash some stuff from 2E, maybe kind of system based on kind of the more pulpy stories like your Clark Ashton Smith and Lovecraft, Conan, and as we kind of come into this story here, you are a party. Well, those of you that remain are a party of adventurers who've been adventuring for maybe 10 years. You've accomplished things that no man or woman thought they could ever do. You've seen things that people maybe don't even believe, and forever in search of challenges and the next way to prove or test your mettle. You had been researching the existence of a city-state called Sarnath that rumored to have sunk some 10,000 years ago. In its prime, Sarnath was the center of civilization, the richest place ever to exist, decadent animals from everywhere, peoples from everywhere, stone, gems, gold, platinum, anything you could dream of, littered the streets of Sarnath. But they say that Sarnath was built on the blood of an ancient race that took its revenge. And now there sits, where Sarnath was, a large lake. It fed by no stream, and still sits there with Sarnath below. You have heard that once every 100 years, the city reveals itself. And that time, well, when you heard this, was 6 months from the date you found out. And you've been traveling and researching, and your group started off with something like 30 members in the caravan as you traveled around little by little through fear and through monsters and through bad weather. You've been whittled down to a small group. All you really want to do is prove that you could have found Sarnath finally and bring back some of its riches. What you know as you stand looking down at what you believe is the remains of Sarnath is that this city will only remain above the water while the moon shines upon it, roughly 8 hours. It took you about an hour or so to walk out through the muddy mire to get to where you are now. You're standing upon what was likely the walls of Sarnath. They are 80, 90, 100 foot wide, depth deep, I should say. You're looking down into a completely ruined city. It's huge. Mud, dirt, seaweed. These things have taken many of the buildings that you look out upon as you stand upon this wall some 300 feet above the city. So you do see, though, way back, you're talking about maybe a quarter of a mile, three-quarters of a mile. Yeah, about three-quarters of a mile back. You see a single large palace that you would, through your research, would recognize as the Palace of the King. And it looks almost like it's cut of a single piece of white stone, which is impossible as it is some 600 feet tall, about 300 feet in any direction on the ground. So you're looking out into this mess. I'll have you quickly kind of, or slowly, depending on how you want to go, give a quick little character intro, how you might feel about this. And I'm actually going to throw up a kind of a rough map so you can see what you're looking at once we do that, and then we can figure out what you guys want to do. So go like that. And I'm going to just start with Kenneth.
Okay, you can call me Riv Tander. I am a thief. I am XII, and I have black hair, green eyes. I'm about 6 feet tall, and I'm 26. I'm not sure if I said that or not.
Excellent. Nicky.
Right. My name is Two's Gooch, and I am a bard, and I'm about 29. I'm 6 feet tall, well, 5'11", but 6 feet for the ladies. And I have black hair and light amber eyes, and I have a large build, as you can see. And I am very excited to see what's in this palace. Maybe there will be records of old songs that I can add to my repertoire, and just some magic items that we can acquire. I'm very, very excited.
Excellent. And Harry.
I'm playing Euphemios, who I think maybe is the opposite of, was it Tuzgos?
Yeah, his name, yeah, Toos Gooch, Toosgooch.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so Euphemios is Cimmerian, black hair, dark complexion, big but kind of stooped over and glowering, and he wears chainmail and a hood up over his head, so it's often hard to see his expression unless you're looking straight at him. And when you are looking straight at him, his big bushy eyebrows and scraggly beard are almost always showing an intense sort of, well, he despises a lot of things, let's put it that way. He puts up with you guys, though. Typically, he's got his shield on his back, and he's carrying a two-handed flail, which he enjoys beating things with. Everything's covered in runes. Runes are very important to him. He's often playing with rune dice. Playing isn't the right word, though. He's actually looking into the future, is what he'll tell you. So anyway, that's Euphemios in a nutshell.
Excellent.
I apologize. I didn't see the character name part here before, but there is one here. It's Turgatau Hugator Espacos. So just call me Tyr.
Tyr. All right.
Tyr,
All right. Yeah, these are your official Hyperborea names that nobody can ever pronounce. So, but I enjoy using them. No, I cannot pronounce them either. If you buy modules in the system, they actually have the phonetic pronunciation of the NPC names. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to share my screen for a second if I can figure out how to do it. Share. Yeah, that's it right there, right? You're looking at the map now. Okay. So basically, you can see my mouse, right?
Not yet.
No map.
Oh, I have to hit OK. You're just clicking on it. You have to hit OK as well. I'm very high tech, as you guys can probably see. All right.
There
we go.
Okay. So you guys are like around here at the bottom. Okay. If you will, this is that castle slash, I call it a castle because it has a wall around it, but that palace. Again, these walls, this outside part is the wall. It's about 100 foot or so wide, about 300 feet tall. The lake itself, I mean, you can almost imagine like you're looking into, if you were to walk up to an empty swimming pool with a bunch of junk at the bottom. That's kind of what this looks like, except on a massive scale. So the land on, like you're standing on a 300-foot wall, but you're actually on the level ground to like the lake floor. So this is actually sunk into the lake. You're like maybe like a couple miles away from the lake shore of thick mud. It took you about an hour or so to walk out here, even though it's not tremendously far. And then you're looking into this. Now, basically the wall goes all the ways about a mile or so out this way. This kind of messy part here is, and you would have heard stories, especially maybe the bard, that Sarnath itself sat at the edge of the lake previous. So the lake used to be further in, and basically ships and stuff would come from this direction. So this is all just mud and gut that's kind of poured in. You can imagine that to be like almost like a slope, if you will. Most of this stuff, as you can see, the scribbles are ruins. These like curved things look like they were probably colosseums and domes. There's lots of large buildings that are smashed. There's a couple of every place, wherever there's nothing really here, it doesn't mean it's empty. There's like small houses and things. Just, I mean, this place was packed. Imagine it's a metropolis, so it was basically filled with buildings. Besides the palace being, super obvious, there's this big dome here. It's about 200 feet at its crest, and you can see how big it is. It's huge. And it is basically just covered in dirt and mud. So you're not really sure what it is, except for it's kind of, you know, it's something because it's a circle, which is unusual. But like I say, currently you're standing on the wall here, about 300 feet up, and you can see some of these main routes going in to the, you know, the palace slash castle, whatever you want to call it. So plans?
Are we most interested in exploring the castle or the domed area? Or anything else?
The dome is first.
Closest.
What do you think, Ufenios?
If there was a king of Sarnath, he would be in the castle. If there was a king, that's where his treasure would be.
True.
Agreed.
Castle. We need to get down. I have 50 feet of rope.
Daniel, did you say that the wall that we're standing on is basically at the seafloor now because it's sunk?
Yeah, it's at the seafloor kind of leading away, but inside the space where you see here is about 300 feet down.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to go into the city, which I'm assuming you do, hopefully, you'd have to drop down about 300 feet. Places where it's not so deep, or however you want to say it, would be right near the dome. There is actually, because of its vicinity here, some of the stuff is slopped over. So over here, this is only maybe like 150 feet up. There's like a pile of muddy area here that you think you could probably drop down onto. It's closer basically than going straight down. And also in theory, you could come all the way to the end here and see if you can get down this muddy part, but that could be very treacherous. You know, aside from just going straight down 300 feet from where you are.
So from where we are, leaning over and examining the inside of the wall, are there any stairs or indication of where like guard towers would have been, that sort of thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you actually see, as you're kind of looking down, first of all, it's quite strange. You know, you may be wiping off parts of the wall from the mud to kind of examine it, and there's kind of like growth on it. As far as you can tell, this wall seems to be a single piece of stone. You know, you don't see any, it's not like a bunch of stones stacked up, but you do see cut into it at various places, gates, like lots of gates coming out. Of course, right now they're under the dirt for you guys. But that being said, kind of looking over there and you know, with that in mind, you do see, as you're kind of watching down the wall, that you know, the ones that are gates look like gates. They basically have like large bars, although they're rusted and stuff over them. But over in this corner over here, you see what looks like a way to access the wall from the floor level, or the ground level, I should say, that does not have a gate on it. So you can't see from where you are unless you want to walk over there. Any way to get down into there, but you think that could be access to the wall from there. So yeah, you think if you walk over there, you could figure it out.
Okay.
I have no rope, so I can't help with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think time is of the essence, so we either take our chances over by the dome. It's a 150-foot drop, but sounds like we've only got 50 feet of rope.
Do you have any rope here?
Yeah,
I do not.
I'm sorry. Did you want to go over to this? We'll just call this north to make it easier. So to this like southeastern corner and look at that entry from above, or no? You're gonna stay with.
I'm thinking we do, but I want to get
do.
everyone's.
Yep, that would be fine.
Yep, fine.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I understood you because I didn't want to not give you information if you. So you go over there and you're looking at your rope supply. Only one of you has enough rope, I guess, or rope period.
Yes, me.
And yeah, as you're looking around, like I said, this thing is one solid piece, and you kind of notice that, and it's very strange. So it's not so difficult once you start actually looking over in that general area when you notice that there's an area of the wall like that you're physically standing on that is not like part of the piece. You see a seam around it, and you know, with some effort, you think you'd be able to pull that block up. Like it seems like it might be a trap door or something to that effect.
Or you guys, I'm being dumb. I have a ring of feather fall. We could just feather fall off the wall.
All of us?
Yep.
Yeah. I have a range of 60 feet.
Should we check for a trapdoor first?
Sure, if you want.
Okay,
I'll
yeah,
just
you can
give
do
you
that.
another option.
Yeah,
Well-
so somebody whoever's strong, I guess, would probably be the one to do it. To make a test of strength. So
I have a 14.
14.
I'm the strongest here. Stand aside.
all right, so that's a D6 roll. See if you can pull it open.
Oop. 6. I don't think is
Ah.
the right number, right? We want to roll low.
You want to roll though, yeah.
Yeah. Ah! It's goodly stuck.
Yeah, you actually you probably as you're pulling it up, you realize like as you're pulling, you start to lift it, and like you can feel the pull, the suction. So you think possibly there's a lot of mud underneath it that's causing it to, you know, not really be. Even if you were to be able to pull it open, it might be compacted with wet mud and stuff inside, anyways.
So do you want me to just cast a spell on I can go down and then I can bring everyone else down one at a time?
You can actually, if you're gonna do the feather fall, you can just all go together.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you're talking
just-
about? Yeah, because it's not
Yeah,
really a
the-
spell. You just got to hold hands.
All right, guys, you want to hold my hands? And he
Sounds
holds
good.
out. Okay. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. There we go.
Nice. you step off the edge, trusting in you know, the magic that has saved you many times in the past, and yeah, you float down to the bottom. Nice.
I hate that part.
It is a little tummy rumbling, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't take long. So you're I guess you're in that corner because it didn't make sense to walk back, I guess. So you're kind of, you land down and you're amidst a bunch of rubble. You can see though that these am I still sharing this? I can stop sharing. You can see that even the buildings that are knocked down, the pieces that you see sticking up, you can already kind of garner the wealth that would have been Sarnath. Like the streets that you're on, like as soon as you land down there, all these like beautiful marble and they're inlaid with the, you know, relief cuts and I mean it's even the in between the marble blocks is like gold for the mortar, you know. I mean, it would take hours to scoop it out, so it's probably not worth, you know, trying to pull it out. But you can see that it must have been in its day just amazingly opulent sight to have seen Sarnath in a single piece. So if you are heading towards the castle, do you want to kind of go through these back road areas and kind of walk through and see what you might come across, or do you want to head right over to this main road that you can see and go straight up?
Oh, I think we should explore the ruins a little bit. What do you think?
Agreed.
Okay.
Is that okay with you, Euphenios?
Of course.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so you definitely can do that. You know, it's a little bit of a slower go, maybe. It's a shorter route, but it's a little slower go because you're kind of walking through, you know, more of kind of trashed areas. And you definitely find things that would, when you first started adventuring, you'd be filling your sacks with all the little pieces of you know, fine metals and you know, glass and things that you find that seem really interesting that might have some value, but you know, at your place in life, this stuff all seems minor to what you think you could find in the castle. And you know, nothing really of extreme value do you see, but what you do find is that there were definitely, since you're going right past them, there were some very large buildings here, because you can see they've fallen over, and you can just tell by that any of the buildings here, like probably a third of the buildings you walk past would have been taller even than the 300-foot walls.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty fantastic. This right here, this is kind of like a tower. This is still standing a bit, but mostly everything else is wiped out as you go past it.
Is there a way like into the tower? Can we search and see if we could
You want to
their
go?
way into the tower?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So you move over towards that that tower area, and you know the kind of the it's about 200 feet tall. The bottom section of it is torn apart, so you can there's like a chunk missing from it. So you can kind of walk right over to it. You can see into it. Let's see what you see. Yeah. What it looks like, from what you can see, is that from a distance you're kind of looking in. The moon is out, right, as noted, so it's pretty bright out. It's not super bright, but it's totally bright enough for you to see. All painted inside the wall, on what would be the ground floor, basically. You see these figures, like these beautifully painted figures that don't seem to be as destroyed as you would imagine since they've been underwater for 10,000 years. They seem to be in various states of prayer and like some of them, like their hands up, and some of them are going like this, and so it seems like they're it's almost like a scene of extreme religious ceremony, all kind of inlaid. It's not they're relief sculptures, so they're basically into the wall, but they are also painted in bright colors.
Have any of us ever seen this religion before? Or do we recognize it, or is it something completely unique to Sarnath?
I mean, you would probably know that it was just something very, very old that isn't really, it's beyond, beyond history, basically.
Anybody want to do anything else?
Yeah, you could enter the tower and inspect it more closely, but from outside, that's all you really see.
Okay.
Well, we are in limited time.
True. So should we just go to the palace?
Are we wading through water, or is it's very wet, I imagine?
Yeah, you're wet because you have to come out here in like knee-deep mud at some areas. And yes, the inside of this place is, it looks like the waters have like receded essentially. But there's puddles and there's like fish flopping around, and like the tiny bit of water that's there, or some of them are dead, clearly from the water. You're basically walking in mud. Yeah. And when you clear things off with your boots to look at them, that's when you're seeing like these beautiful engraved floors and things. But for the most part, everything is filthy. Yeah.
Well, Toes, I imagine you could spend your life deciphering the stories in these reliefs, but that doesn't put coin in our pocket.
True. Let's head on to the palace then.
Okay, so you're just gonna keep going. That makes sense, right? Moving across the muddy, ruins essentially. You can make decent time. Like I said, you can see the palace, so it's not hard to find. You just kind of take the most direct route there. No other building really seems to stick out to you as being kind of intact enough to really spend a lot of time investigating, especially with the short time. So by the time you get up to the steps of basically the outside of the palace. So if you look at this is not 100% to scale, but there's basically a wall around this thing. And this, because you can see it from above, the entry gate here, as you get closer to it, is some like 80 or 90 foot tall by about 50 foot wide. It's double door. And as you get up to it, you see that strangely, because you can't even imagine how this could be, each side of the door seems to be a single plank, like a tree that you could even imagine a tree large enough to produce planks, for this type of thing. But literally, there's like two big planks, and there's like a bar on the front to push open. Pull out rings to pull it out towards you, rather. Going backwards. So yeah, you're looking at basically a giant gate in front of you, for lack of a better word. Also, there's walls. These walls, the walls of the outside part are about 150 feet tall, and then you've got these doors in front of you.
You think all of us together could pull one of these doors open, you Fenios, if we tried really hard?
Might as well try.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna try to pull the door. So if you guys all work together, you can add one per person that's helping.
Yep.
So I think that'll give you a 5 out of 6, I think, to be able to do it.
Yep. All together.
All right. I rolled a 2.
Excellent. Teamwork pays off, and you're able to pull the gates open, no problem. Not even an issue at all. And what you're looking at, as you pull it open, is kind of a courtyard, I guess it would be the best way to describe it, in front of the palace, which of course you already know is there. The palace itself is like this giant white marble structure. As you kind of look, I just closed my map, sorry. As you kind of look in, okay, so you're looking at about you're kind of looking into either side. You can see that this kind of courtyard, for lack of a better word, stretches around the building. So you could theoretically go around the building if you wanted to. If you were to just walk straight at the building, you'd be there in about 100 feet. So it's about 100 foot out to the building. What you do see at the building is a set of doors, kind of like what you just looked at, except maybe 20 foot smaller. So they're still huge, but they're not quite as big. They're about 60 footish tall. They apparently open out and as well, and they are actually open by a crack. Like from where you're standing, you can't see in because they're open a little bit, but you can see the doors open. Like I said, the building itself is about 500 feet tall. And something else I didn't mention, but I'll mention now, is that about 2/3 of it is kind of all the same size, and then the top of it kind of is almost like a ziggurat. It kind of like the upper levels go smaller.
Okay. I know it's been dead for a while, doomed Sarnath, but can I still try to use my discern noise thief ability and just listen for echoing footsteps of some baddie or something? I mean, not saying there's any baddies, but there might be. So
Do you want to do it from where you're at? Like just you open the gate and you kind of look in, you just want to like, let me listen. Or do you want to walk up to the door and listen?
I'll do it from the gate. We'll just see if there's
Okay.
anybody. Yeah.
What is your listen skill?
Listen.
Yep. Or it should be discern noise, I guess it's called.
Yeah. Let me read it for you here. It says, to hearken at a door and detect the faintest of noises on the other side, perceive footfalls of a monster, or distinguish a voice in a crowd. It says 6 rounds of concentrated listening are required.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means I can only do it through doors or if I can do it here.
No, you can do it anywhere. If you go down to your abilities listed on your character sheet, there should be a number.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Oh, yeah, you're right. 7, 12.
Okay,
So.
so 7 or 12. So I'm gonna roll it obviously because that way. Yeah, you listen. Everybody probably recognizes when you do your little whatever it might be. Maybe you're like, who knows?
Listen,
Where you're like,
do you smell something?
right. So you do that, and you're listening, and you hear water dripping. In general, you hear kind of a cool, and you feel a cool kind of wind blowing, but you don't hear anything that sounds like anything living besides the fish and stuff that are flopping on the ground.
Okay.
Out in this general area.
All right. I don't hear anything major. Should we go to the door?
You said the door was cracked open, correct?
That's correct. It's a huge door. It's maybe open about a foot.
I'll quietly walk up to the door and kind of peek inside.
Okay, awesome.
So
do you move silent?
Move silently says 8 of 12.
Okay, yeah.
So
you gingerly walk across the courtyard. 100 arrows come down. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody ever looks up. No. You walk across the courtyard very, very, very silently. Avoiding any puddles or the squish of the muck at your feet, and you kind of get up to it. And you look in. What you see is, the door's only open a bit, so you're kind of looking at part of the the wall. You're looking into what looks like a very large corridor, it's widthwise, although you can't see much of it without kind of getting in further. Immediately what you're looking to, I'll say the east, just to make it easier for me. You're looking at about 20 feet down. There's a large door, and large is all relative here. So it's a large door for you, but it's not as large as the door you just came through. This door is about 20 feet tall. So it's a big door, but it's not gigantic. You also, right before the door, you see there's a column, and that column seems to have metal pieces kind of coming out of it in a spiral type pattern, like starting at the ground and working its way up. The metal pieces are about as big as like a large axe head, so they're not huge, and they some of them are rusted and broken off from what you can tell, but you can tell there should be a pattern of it going up. Also, you notice, it probably occurs to you, that you can see, which means that this place is lit. Although it's not lit tremendously bright. It's actually dimmer than outside, and outside is moonlit, but it's not completely black or dark in here. And it smells very damp and musty.
I'll carefully open the door. Like, I'll stand behind it and pull it open.
Okay, sure. So you step to the side and open the door. And when you're doing that, of course, now the people that are in the party can kind of see down the corridor too. You guys are looking in at a corridor. It's roughly, I'm just going to tell you, it's roughly about 60 feet wide. It is, it's about 200 feet or more long. And what you immediately notice is that that column that I mentioned to you with the metal wrapping around it, there's a lot of them. There's one every like 10 feet going down and, down the wall. Of course, everybody can see that door now. And also on the east wall, because you only open the one door, so you can see the one side. Way down at the end, you see another very large door that looks like the one that's on the east. So there's two doors on the east wall. They're about 20 feet tall each. One is near the southern part. One is near the northern part.
Being a thief, these towers with these pieces of metal attached to them, does any of it seem very trap-like to me?
Okay, yeah. So you look at them. You're kind of looking to see if it looks dangerous. And I mean, you don't think that. In fact, you pretty much recognize as soon as you're kind of following them up, looking for any kind of trigger, you see that the columns seem to penetrate the ceiling, and you would think that these actually are some kind of like odd staircases. Like you could use them as a staircase.
That was my second thought, but
yeah, and all of them, like I said, there's one every like 10 or so feet. All of them penetrate the ceiling like that. So there's like a lot of them, and they all seem to go up through the ceiling. So assuming everybody moves up, or no?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so just so once you get up there and you kind of look down, you can see that the corridor, so I'll give you the whole description of the corridor. So looking at the whole corridor now, it's about 60 foot wide, as noted. On the west side, you have a repetition of those columns / staircases as well. In addition to that, on the west side, you see some smaller doors. They're maybe like 10-ish feet tall. There are 3 of them, like relatively close together on the west wall, and then one way at the northern part of the west wall.
Shall we check out the 3 small doors?
Sure.
Okay, we'll go up to the first one that we come to on the
West side.
On the west? Okay.
Yeah.
You notice as you get close to the door, now you're kind of in the hallway, that all the walls, and also I guess you were looking up at the ceiling, and the ceiling of this place are all carved in this like super intricate relief. It's almost so fine that it's barely there. Like you almost, at first you think maybe it could even be like painted, because it's like the detail is crazy. You touch it or whatever, and you can see that it's covering these walls. It shows just decadence and riches beyond anything you could imagine, and crazy orgies and wealth and feasts and animals you've never seen before, and it's just covering the walls and ceiling. But this door does not have that. The door is just a nice wood door, It has a kind of a golden handle, and it would be pulled towards you if you were to open it.
Check for traps again, maybe.
Okay. What is your trap, by the way?
612.
What is it?
6.
Okay, 612. Sorry, you just faded away for a second. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you know, nothing. It seems safe.
Okay. I'll pull it open.
Okay. You pull open the handle of the door, and you are looking into a room that is maybe, 150, 200 feet, 150 feet, I guess, wide going into you. It's basically a square. It's about 150 by 150. It is full with about a dozen huge tables that run almost the length of it. They're in rows. Floating above the center of the room are some musical instruments that are playing music.
Whoa.
A jaunty tune. There's also lights floating, like instead of chandeliers, there's like lights kind of flying around in the air, and you can hear the music. And as everybody kind of hears this music, go ahead and make a saving throw versus sorcery. I think it's called sorcery saving throw.
Oh, D20.
Yeah. D20, you're going for a 13 or better. So you may have some modifiers.
I've got a total of 10 out of 13.
I got 20.
All right.
I'm the bard, so music doesn't entrance me as much, maybe.
So if you failed the saving throw, your feet begin to shuffle a little bit, and you're like,
it makes me feel like dancing.
Whoa,
guys.
Stop it.
Guys, this music is not that good, guys. Why are you dancing?
And to make matters more interesting, you see that there are in the room, in addition to this, because of course that the light and the music, you looked up and you saw that, and you looked down, and sitting at one of the tables, there are 6 fish men. So they're basically men that look like fish. They're eating what look like body parts of some kind of humanoid off platters that are gold, studded with gems. And when they see you, I don't anybody speaks fishman, so they say something, and they kind of stand up with rusty scimitars, and it looks like they're going to engage you in combat.
I knew I should have listened to the door.
Sorry.
So let's go down the line. I'll just, just a brief statement of what you're going to do, and then we'll roll initiative. So let's see if I can get everybody's name. Tyr?
I will grab my shield on my left arm and my short sword on my right, and I will stand ready.
Okay. Gooch?
I'm going to try. They're fishmen, so I don't know if mesmerization really work. I will pull my sling and kind of ready it to fire a sling at one of them.
Okay, you're going to shoot a sling stone at him. And Euphemius, what is your plan?
Well, I'm dancing, right?
Yeah, you're starting to dance. So mechanically, it's going to give you guys a -4 on your rolls, and you are starting to move into the room against your will towards the instruments.
All right. Well, they're fishermen, so they need to be speared. I've got my shield in one hand and spear in the other, and it's so tempting, Tyr, to grab you and start waltzing.
It's only if you rolled a 1 on the saving throw you do that.
It's not a bad idea.
Daniel, I'm sorry. Can I change what I want to do? I'm
Sure.
sorry. I'm still kind of looking here. I would like to actually try if this is applicable to counter song.
Oh.
To recognize and identify songs of enchantment and react with opposing melodies to try to disrupt auditory sorceries. I don't know.
Oh yeah, sure. That'll 100% work.
That's much better than what I was planning on doing. So.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely do. Okay. Let's roll initiative though, because they're going to charge at you with their nasty scimitars. So I'm just gonna, one person will roll for the entire combat, and then we'll switch to the next person. We'll go down like that. So Harry, you'll do this combat. So roll a D6, no modifications. What'd you get? Sorry.
6.
6. Oh, you go first. Okay. All right. So your actions happen. So you draw your weapons, and you're going to do the counter songs. Let's see. What? Is it listed under the bard? Just I want to read any details.
It's listed under bard in parentheses thief class abilities.
Perfect. I just want to see if does it say you have to roll anything, or it just works automatically, or.
It says that if the opponent is of equal or lesser level / HD.
Oh, okay. Then it just cuts it off. Okay, interesting.
Open a channel to the horrible vibrations of the Black Gulf.
Nice.
That's where we are, actually.
Okay, that sounds pretty epic. It just cuts the music basically, or does it?
It says to recognize and identify songs of enchantment and react with opposing melodies, poetics, and/or instrumentation. If the opponent is of equal or lesser HD, the bard opens a channel at once muting or disrupting auditory sorceries. So I could mute it, or we could just make it so they don't dance anymore.
Okay. Which one do you want to do? Because it works.
I'm gonna try to disrupt it and be like, I'm gonna turn it into a song that's really bad and nobody will ever want to dance to.
Okay.
So you hear me start going, you can dance, having the time of your life. You are, in other words, a dancing queen.
I don't know. That might make them dance more.
It might. That's why.
All right. Yeah, that works. You guys, the spell is removed from you, and you stop dancing. So you won't have that -4. But nor do you need to go into the room because you technically went first. So you can stay outside if you want. So did you want to move in, or no? You guys are staying in the hallway, right? If you don't have to go in.
Do we want to try and close the door and block the door shut, or do we want to fight?
Right, that's the question. You can because now that the things, since you won initiative, you started dancing in and then you stopped. So you actually could theoretically move instead.
What do you want to do, Euphemius? Phenios?
Well, there's no lock on the door, is there, from the outside? I think we have to deal with these guys.
Okay, that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So you guys. So all right, that's fine. They're going to move forward towards you. I gotta check their distance. Okay, they charge forward, but they can't reach you this round. So they actually charge up at you, and now they're kind of like only like 10, 15 feet away. So they'll be able to get to you next round if they want to. And we'll come into the next round of combat. So plans, tier?
I will move forward and attack.
Okay. Gooch?
Oh, I have to pick. Now I will ready my sling.
Yeah, because I assume that you could probably destroy it in one. Yeah, we'll say you were able to do it right away. So we'll say you can do something else. You don't have to keep going. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think because
I'll keep singing. I can do other songs if you want.
No. I think that's fine because actually it's not a super powerful enchantment. You far out enchant it. So I say you destroy it right away. The instrument falls to the ground.
So my next turn, I'd like to try to do an attack with my sling.
Okay, and Euphemius.
Well, I guess we're going in. They're 10 feet on the other side of the door, right? So basically, as soon as we enter the room, we're in contact with them.
That's right. You can move forward and attack them.
So I will join my thief friend side by side.
Nice.
I'm going to stay a little in the back so I can shoot my slingshot. And I'm a bard, not up front. Not out front.
Sense. You definitely can do that. All right. Yeah. So they're gonna just melee attack whoever. I mean, if you win initiative, they'll just go after the two of you that come in the room probably. Otherwise, they're gonna try to get into the hallway. So D6 on your side.
There's 6 of them.
There are 6. Yep.
Okay.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You want a D6?
Yeah, D6 again.
For initiative?
Yeah, for initiative.
Are we okay with this? Is the one where we roll every turn?
Yep.
Well, I just rolled, but next time I guess someone else should roll. A 2.
They get a 5. I'm gonna have you roll the whole combat, and then next combat somebody else will roll that whole combat. That way I don't lose track of who's doing it.
Oh.
Just because my brain doesn't work well enough to do I used to bounce back and forth, and then I was like, it's just easier to do it this way. Okay, they're gonna go first. So they charge into the hallway, or as many of them as they can, as they're kind of busting through the door. I'll say 3 of them can kind of get through, you know, in the one round. And so as you guys kind of move forward to take them, they actually charge in on you first. They're slightly faster than you are. Okay, so I'm gonna do it this way. First one is attacking Euphemius, and it rolls an 18. That hits an AC of 0. That probably hits you.
It is 2 right now.
Okay, so that hits you for 4 hit points of damage from the rusty scimitar. The second one is going to go after the Gooch, even though you were in the back. It charged forward at you, but it misses, probably because you're in the back. with the 3 on the roll. And then the third one is rolled only an 11 against the thief. That hits an AC of 7. What's your AC?
With my shield, it's an 8.
Oh, then it hit you, just barely.
Well, which is better, the 7 or the 8?
The 7 is better.
Oh, the 7. It's 7 then.
Oh, it still hit you though. It's equal to or.
Okay, gotcha.
So it would have hit you the way, but okay, it just barely hit you. And it does 4 points of damage.
4. Okay.
Yeah. So now you guys are in the hallway. So you didn't get to move in, which is fine. You can go through and. So the way this works is there's an order of combat, which goes melee, missile, magics. So the melee attacks will happen first. So the two people using melee. So the flail. So Euphemius, you can attack.
All right. Roll a mighty 6. Let's see. Attack bonus of +1 makes it a 7. So I will hit a armor class of 6, I think.
Armor class 6, it just misses. He's able to block it with the scimitar, but he steps back a little bit, like the flail just misses him in the face. Tyr.
I will attack with my short sword. Oh, it's a natural 20.
Ah, that hits. Okay, that's a critical hit. So the way crits work in this is you're going to roll a d6.
Okay, a 1. Great.
Well, no, that's okay. So you're just going to do an extra 1 point of damage. So you roll your damage and add 1 point.
So that's 9 damage.
Oh, nice. That actually takes him out. It was enough. It was that extra point actually killed him. So you get him just in the right spot and run through the fish, and it drops to the ground dead.
Way to go, guys! I'm back here cheering you on.
Nice.
Ah!
Okay. And now
Sushi, anyone?
You can throw your sling stone now if you'd like.
Okay. I rolled, it says 17, so -2.
Yeah, that definitely is.
Okay. So I roll 1d6. 3 points of
Okay.
damage.
Yeah. The sling stone cracks into it. It's still alive.
Okay, I figured.
Okay. So we come into the next round of combat. So we're just going to once again say Tyr, what you're playing.
I will just turn to the next closest fish.
Okay.
And prepare to fight.
Gooch, what you're playing. Two's Gooch.
Oh, sorry. I will just try to sling again for now.
Okay. So just so you know, you're not slinging the one that's attacking you because you can't sling something so close to you. I mean, not that it matters, but.
Oh, that's right. There is a guy attacking me.
Yeah, well, there's a guy on you, so you just slung somebody who was running through the door. But there is one on you. You can continue to sling the one behind, but just know
I should probably attack the guy that's on me. So I'll pull out my battle axe.
Okay.
I says I have a battle axe.
I don't fight battle axe. Euphemius.
I am very big.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's big at 5'11". That's pretty big.
Euphemius is just again trying to spear this awful aberration in front of me. Get down.
Yeah, they're coming at you and they're speaking in their strange fish language with their mouths going like whoa, 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 whoa. You don't understand them. So go ahead and roll a d6 for initiative, Harry. Ooh, they got a 5 again.
4.
All right, they're gonna go first again. Okay, one more has moved through the door. So there's once again there's one on each of you. First one goes after Euphemius, misses terribly. The new guy who was running through the door and got hit in the head with the sling stone runs up against Tyr. with a 13. That hit you because I think 11 hit you last time. 13 hits AC 5. Okay, so he's gonna hit you with his rusty scimitar just for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And then finally the third one that was that's on the bard gets a 15. 15 is hitting an AC of 3. What is the bard's AC?
It says 0/1. I don't have a shield.
No, it misses you. So 1 because your shield's probably not up because you had a sling in one hand and a sword.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, that misses too. You got good armor. Yeah, you're totally a fighter. You're like, I'm a bard.
It says battle axe. Yeah, hey man.
Yeah, I know. It's just funny. Well,
It is.
bards are definitely more fighters in this than they are anything else.
Yes.
Bards are incredibly fun in this. Now I have to get this book just so I can play a bard.
There really is a good. Okay, so everybody's doing melee now. So I'm just going to go in orders here. I'm just going to make it easier for me the order. If you guys want to go out of order for some reason at some combat, I don't think there's a reason right now, but let me know. So I'm just going to go tier.
I will swing with my sword, and I rolled a 3.
Okay, that's probably not going to hit.
Yeah, I'm not going to hit.
How about the gooch? Choose a gooch.
I'm going to swing. Get away from me with my battle axe. I rolled. Yeah, target AC is 9. Probably doesn't hit.
9 does not hit. No, their AC is 5 actually. So if you want to note that.
Okay.
And then finally, our big rune graver fighter.
In the eye with a 5. Yes.
5 doesn't hit. It almost hits though, right?
I'm still dancing.
You're really like ABBA.
No, I like this song. What did you do that for? All right, so another one moves out into the hallway now. So now you're engaging all 5 of these guys.
Boy.
Or 6 of them. 5. So there's 5 out in the hallway now. So there's going to be 2 on 2 of you, which I'll figure out as I go down. So anybody doing anything but melee?
Not right now.
Okay. Okay, so let's initiative one more time. 1. There you go. Now you got
Well,
1 as well. Okay. What is your dexterity?
16.
Okay, there's only 9. So you guys are going to go first.
Woohoo.
So again, I'm just going to go in this order because it's easier for me. Tier.
I will swing. I rolled a 7, so target AC 8.
No. Gooch.
All right, swing. The one attacking me with my battle axe. 6. I rolled a 7, so I hit armor class. Actually, 8. Nope.
No. Unfortunately. Euphemius. There's these slippery fish.
All right, I'm trying to scooch myself around so that my back is to the wall, and kind of next to the door, and then spearing one of the guys, and roll a 19 finally. That's what it took me to have my back up against the wall.
Nice.
Let's see. Spear, but I'm using it one-handed because I've got a shield, right? So it's D6 plus 1. 7 points of damage.
Oh, nice. That's enough. You spear through them. He falls to the ground as you back to the wall.
Yeah, Euphemius.
Nice. Yeah, so you're able to take out this fishman. You kind of stab him. Maybe he was near the wall, and you run him through, and then spin around, and he falls on the ground in front of you. As the 4 remaining fishmen are there. Let me just real quick. They lost 2 of their people. Let me do a morale check. Nope, they're staying. Okay, so they're going to do their attacks now. I'll do one against each, and then I'll figure out where the last one is. Against Euphemius, misses against Tier, and misses against. Gooch. I didn't have to look; those were so low. And then the last one's going to either go after Gooch or Tier. I'll roll the 6-sided die. It's going after Gooch.
The Gooch is ready for him.
No, I don't like your music. That's a 12.
Battle the band.
No, that misses you. You have great armor class. So yeah, this one now you have 2 on you.
Okay.
And they are, desperately trying to knock you down, but you're holding them off, no problem.
Okay.
All right. As we go into the next round of combat, there's 4 of them left. One of which was injured by 2 of them are injured actually at this point. Is there anybody doing anything but melee?
Now I gotta hit these guys.
Okay.
Man,
So a d6 again for initiative. They got it. 6 that time.
Oof.
Okay. All right, same deal. One after Euphemius. Misses. Okay, against Tyr, that's a 19. That's going to hit you. I don't even have to look. 3 points against Tyr. This fishman's beating you down. 18 on the bard. That might hit. Oh, no, it's 16. Hold on. I think I have to repaint my dice. It's harder to see them. 16 hits a 2, so that doesn't hit you. Actually, 18 would have hit, so I gotta check that again. 15. Okay, so they miss you too. You're actually you have magical armor, I guess, right? It's bouncing the blows. Their feeble, rusty blades are bouncing off your magical armor. And Tyr, you've got one fishman on you.
I will counterattack him. I rolled a 12, so 3 target AC.
Yep.
Okay, so 2, 6, so 5 damage. Oh, yeah, 5 damage.
5 damage. That kills him. Boom. You run through with your short sword the fishman that you're in battle with. You got 2 fishies on you.
Next.
I'm going to, yeah, I know, I was just trying to make sure I was doing everything right. Okay, I'm gonna hit the first guy that tried to hit me.
All right.
Oh, 16, so according to this, that hits a -1.
Oh yeah, that's a clean hit.
Okay. That would be my D. Oh. I'm sorry, I don't have a D8 out. Let me get it out. I didn't even. Got it.
Okay.
7 + 1 is 8 points of damage.
8. That takes him out.
Battle axe. Woo!
You got 2 on you, and the initial one, I guess, that was fighting you wasn't doing a very good job, so his friend came up, and then you chopped down the initial one. Back to Euphemius. There
are 2 fishmen left?
There's 2. Yeah, there's 2 left. One's on the bard, and one just circled around to you.
Well, the bard seems to be taking care of herself, so I'll go after the. Oh, again, there's one on me.
Yeah.
I will. Well, I can't have that. Stab 14, 15. That's armor class -2. Sounds like a hit.
Yep.
4, 7 points of damage.
Nice. That runs through. And
Nice.
so there's just one left.
On the gooch.
On the gooch. He I don't know if you've ever seen a fish poop before, but you see that. And anything besides melee?
No.
Okay, so let's roll initiative. Which is likely the last round. It got a 3.
Sorry. 2.
All right, it's gonna go first. It starts to run, but I'm gonna give you a shot at it if you want, because it literally just starts to run. So, Gooch, if you want to swing at the sad fish man as he runs away.
Yep, I'm going to do that. Oh no, a 6. So no.
You swing at it. It runs like heck. It's pretty fast actually.
Okay.
It starts sprinting up the corridor. Up that wide corridor. So not back into the room, because by now, especially with Euphemius kind of going to the wall, it would be killed if it went by tried to go back in that room. So it just dashes straight up the hallway.
Do we want to go after it?
It's going to take a couple, technically, mechanically, a couple of rounds for it to get to the end of the corridor. You could chase it if you want. It's pretty fast.
I don't know if we want to alert friends, do we?
I'm curious where it wants to go. Let's go after it.
Okay.
You gonna chase it?
Yep.
Do you want to try to run it down or just follow it?
Do you want to see where it goes, Euphemius?
Well, I don't want it to get away. No.
Okay.
Let's
So you want to try to run it down?
how quickly we can catch up to it.
Yeah, so everybody check your speed. Its speed is 40. So
My movement is 40.
so if you guys have 40, you can actually catch up to it and get it before it gets to the end, if you want. So it starts to run. It's only a little bit ahead of you. So basically, it'll get to the end, and when it has to take the action to try to open that door down there, which it tries to do on the on the left-hand side or the west side of the hallway, it runs. You're right behind it. It stops to go to open the door, and you pile up on it, and you can basically. I mean, there's 3 of you attacking it. There's no way it's going to survive. So if you're trying to kill it, you just kind of come down on it with your weapons, and it dies in the hallway.
Yep. Okay.
It looked like it was trying to open the door that's right there, but it did not have a chance to do it.
So we know it was trying to go through there, Euphenius. So
Yeah.
there's probably some good stuff back there, or more fishmen.
Yep. So these guys were using rusty cutlasses, did you say?
Yep.
Like, do they look like they were from the time of Sarnath? Do we see it like?
Yes, you get down and pick up his blade when he drops it. No, it does not actually. I mean, they look old and weird, but not necessarily that old. Like you've seen these designs before, so you don't think that they're necessarily the original inhabitants or whatever.
Are they old? Do you think they were part of what of course it looks like it was flooded, so maybe nobody attacked it and destroyed the town. I'm just thinking maybe they overran Sarnath when the waters came. But can't tell.
They could be just living in the lake now and on ships, fishermen.
Yep.
And making their home here. We can probably expect to see more of them.
If I go back and try to like inspect the instruments that were causing the spell, is that something I could learn? Is it something we could make use of, or are they just kind of tied to the room that they were in?
Okay, so you want to go back to that room and check it out?
I do.
Okay, yeah, you guys go down there. So you go back down to that room, and as noted, it's of course you see the dead fisherman in the hallway that you just killed. Large tables. They look like it's pretty clear that they've been underwater, although some of them are almost like preserved because of it, and then some of them are completely rotted. There are various types of wood. Most of the chairs and stuff though have been destroyed. You do see like pieces of what were probably chairs that were very ornately carved, pretty much scattered all over the tables and also on the ground. You see lots of these like plates that are made of various precious metals, and these trays that are speckled with all kinds of gems. They're mostly beat up and scratched and tarnished at this point, but they look pretty valuable. But the instruments themselves, as you go up there, they seem strange and magical. You kind of killed them and they fell. So you're looking at them, and I mean, being that you're a bard, you would probably have some idea of how they might operate, but they seem to be damaged at this point because they fell from 30 feet up. Actually, just to be, let's use a rule that exists. I'll have them make a saving throw.
Okay.
Let's see. They are. I will consider this wood thin. That probably seems right versus wood thick. Wood thin, and that would be a crushing blow. So they need to make a 13. Oh, no, actually, yeah. They're not broken.
Okay.
They're kind of strange. They don't immediately seem magical, so you think possibly a enchantment was cast on them versus them being the enchantment. But the instruments themselves are very strange and probably very interesting to a bard, yeah.
Yeah, I would take one if there's one that looks like a flute or something. I would take one just to kind of examine it later.
Okay, yeah.
If you ever use this character again, you can do what you want with that. But yeah.
It's some kind of a flute. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that for the Gooch's collection. Sure.
Yeah. What else is in this room? Let me just make sure I'm giving you all the details now that you are here and have time to look around. So yeah, lots of platters and plates, broken things. The lights, you killed the music, but the lights that are light in the room are still lit. So this room's actually quite bright. There's lots of small doors in here, small meaning like normal size doors. There are 2 on the southern wall and there are 3 on the western wall.
Ooh. Okay, I know we have limited time. So do we want to explore all this area, or do we want to go after where the fishman was going? What do you boys think?
Huh.
I'm looking at the thief to make a decision. He knows where the money is.
We probably need to continue on into the castle, I would think, to find the better riches.
Okay, so through the door the fishman was trying to go through?
Okay, so you're back out in the hallway.
that was the door probably at the end of the hall, right? The far end of the
Mhm.
hall. You said there was
Mhm.
3 doors and one at the end. On the
Yeah,
west.
right. So in this hallway, you've got the big hallway. When you step back out on the eastern side, there were 3 doors that were clustered together, and actually, you can tell now that you've been in here that those 3 doors all come into this room.
Okay.
And then at the very end, there's another door. On the western wall, there are 2 doors that are larger, one at the most southerly point and one at the most northerly point.
I'll follow you guys.
Well, do we want to take the next big door on the west or the one on the far north?
You need to find the throne room, probably through the big doors.
Okay.
Okay.
West
So
or north?
Which door, Daniel, would seem to go more towards a throne room type location?
well, I mean, you're 7th level. So the doors on the western wall are large and ornate. So they're most likely your best options. You would think that most monarchs would not have the door to the throne room right at the entrance because they wouldn't want
Right.
just anybody to be able to get to it. So of these 2 doors, if you were to guess, you would think it'd be the one at the far end on
Far
the east.
north, right?
That would be your thought process. Whether or not that's true, you'll find out, I guess.
So the far door?
Far door.
Sounds good.
Okay, so again, these doors are much more ornate, the larger doors. As you get up to this door and start looking at it, though, you can see that the wood here is actually starting to rot a bit because it wasn't a single piece. Instead, it was smaller pieces of fine wood that were kind of bonded together with gold. So you've got like all this kind of gold kind of coming through this wood to kind of and around it, it's rotted out a bit. It's very, very intricate. I mean, you don't think it'd be very hard to destroy the door if you want to just like bust your way through it, or you could just try to open it as well. It opens out, like you'd have to pull it open. It has rings on it.
I will learn from my mistake and try to discern noise again.
Nice. You hear music? No.
Yeah.
Music in every room now.
And that was the 7 out of 12 thing.
You do not hear anything unusual through the door. Yeah.
Totally trust you there, Daniel.
Well, I'm reading as I'm saying it. That's why I'm going slow. Yeah, making sure. Yeah.
I guess we just go in. What do you think, guys?
Sure. I'll pull the door open.
All right. Yeah, you grab it by the handles, and again, it's kind of rod, so pieces maybe fall off a little bit, but you pull the door open, and you are looking into a huge room. It takes up most of this side of the building, so you're looking at wider than that dining room was and longer by a bit. The room itself looks like it probably had beautiful tapestries, or you assume beautiful tapestries lining all the walls, but now you see along every wall kind of piles of moldering fabrics. You also see at the very end of the room, way at the bottom, a giant throne. It seems to be from this distance ivory, and you would think that anybody able to sit on this throne in a normal way would be at least 12 feet tall. So this is a huge throne. It is sitting about 3 foot up on a dais, which is made of black marble. The floor in here is just super intricately designed with, again, if you had all the time in the world, you could cut the gold and silver out of the floor and it'd be very valuable, but that would take a long time. What the other kind of maybe unusual, and also the throne is studded with huge gems, like fist-sized gems. Directly in front of the throne, about in front of that dais it's on, about less than 10 feet in front of it is a what appears to be a giant hole in the ground. The hole is about 20 foot in diameter.
In front of the throne.
Yeah, and you are, just to give you some space, you're currently about 200 feet-ish away from the throne at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about, and the dais it's on is about 40 foot square, and the throne itself is about almost 20 feet. in width and stuff. It's huge.
I'm going to put my shield back on my back and put my sword away and pull out my light crossbow and have that prepared.
Okay. You arm yourself with the crossbow.
Is that hole like a collapse, or is it more of a traditional?
You want to walk up to it?
Well, just from here, are the edges all rough, or is it?
Yeah, it looks not rough. Doesn't look like a collapse.
Okay.
It looks intentional, either cut or yeah.
So otherwise, the room seems empty. Looking around at the ceiling.
Yeah, the ceilings are some 60 foot tall. They are elaborately engraved like other places you've seen, but there's nothing like up there or anything.
And it's just engraved with scenes. There aren't runes that our rune master would recognize or anything like that.
No, I mean you all kind of recognize what they are. They're
Okay.
like obvious what they are, but they're just like they're essentially showing the wealth and decadence of the time.
Okay. Okay.
Slaves and elephants and wars and trade routes and orgies and feasts and piles of gems and gold. Like it's really like over the top. Everything that you've been told about Sarnath it is kind of in these engravings.
And this is the room the fishman was trying to run to.
No, he was trying to go into the one on the opposite side of the hall.
Okay.
We should probably look down the hole, I'm just saying. So I'm going to kind of sneak up to or try to move quietly. I do have that 9 of 12 to up to the edge of the hole and like peek my little bardic head.
What could possibly go wrong?
Exactly.
What's your move quiet thing?
9.
Okay. Yeah, so you creep up to it, and I guess as the rest of the party staying back.
I'll go with her.
Okay.
Do you want to tie a rope to your belt and I'll hold it?
Oh, good idea. Oh, Euphenios with the thinking. Okay, yeah, I have a 50-foot rope, so we'll kind of tie
So
that.
you're gonna stay back about whatever 40 feet back or something with the rope and hold on.
You have the strength, so you could probably pull me up.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so you do that. You kind of move forward with quiet steps towards the hole in the bottom. You're followed slightly behind by your thief companion armed with a crossbow.
About 50 feet back, I'll say.
Okay. Okay. And right, and then back you've got the rope holding barbarian. So you move close to the hole, and you can tell, as you get closer to it, clearly you can start to see down into it deeper and deeper. It's pretty deep. And when you kind of come up to the edge and you peek over, you can see that it goes down maybe like about 40 feet. And sitting at the bottom is a person. He is dressed, well, probably would have been in incredibly fine clothes, though they're mostly rotted and falling off at this point. You can see the hands, which are skeletal for the most part, are covered grossly in grossly meaning a lot in rings and bracelets on the sleeves. On his head is a crown, and he looks up with a skeletal face with eyes that are black, but somehow the black seems to glow almost. And he looks at you, and he says, "How dare you stand in the presence of a king?"
Does he look? Can I tell from where I am? Does he look like he would fit on that throne? Like, is he tall? Is he big?
He is not any bigger than a normal man, from what you can tell.
Okay.
I will say this though, and he's speaking to you in your native tongue.
So he is speaking Pictish.
And he's speaking Jumerian, and he's speaking whatever the XII. I mean, you probably don't all until you have this conversation. You're not going to know that you're speaking different languages, but you might think that's a little strange.
Yeah.
You hear him in Pictish, yeah.
I kind of pull my head back and, guys, there's a guy down there.
I will move closer. I want to stay probably at least 10 feet away from my bard friend, but maybe off to the side a bit and look down into the hole.
All right, so you're gonna kind of circle around the
Yeah.
the whole scene. Looks right. Yeah, I mean, you see basically what I just described. A man, he's got a crown, kind of skeletal. I mean, he's got a little bits of flesh and stuff on him, but he's mostly skeletal. He's got robes and stuff that have now, been rotted away with years, covered, bedecked in all kinds of jewels. And when he sees you, he says the same thing. How dare you? And then he says, guards, guards.
Mm.
And he seems to just be yelling at you at this point.
I'll say, we mean you no harm. How did you get down there?
No harm could ever befall the king of Sarnath. I am the most powerful man in the world. Look at me. And he kind of, and like muck starts to fall off him.
I mean, yeah, you look good, pretty good. Well preserved.
Oh, I'm a vegetarian. From which land do you travel? I've not seen your likes.
Do you want to say anything, Tyr?
I don't know what land we're from exactly. So.
We're from Ixia, or I guess it's called Ixia. Is that what it's called?
Ixian? I don't know. So I'm Ixian.
Yeah.
I am also from Ixia, and by the way, I am also a king. So I'm talking to you, and on the same level.
Nice.
No one is on my level. Sarnath rules the world. Did you come to show your to bring gifts and to show your loyalty?
I'll just play along. Of course, as one king to a slightly higher king, I guess.
Look at me. He does raise his hand again. Muck falls off him.
What sort of gifts do people normally bring?
Fabulous gifts from your homeland. I don't know what's in your land. Or, gold and gems and stuff is also good. But, something fabulous from your land would be good.
All right. Oh, boy, I don't know what to do now. I'm going to, if I look around him in the muck of the pit, can I see anything glinting? Does it look like he's got treasure down there with him? Did they throw the bunch of treasure? I don't think he's really the king, but I know he's got a crown.
Yeah, I mean, you do. You definitely see. In fact, you see a scepter with a huge gem on it, sitting on the ground next to him. You see some coins and stuff. You see what looked like there might have been like fine chalices, and so you see stuff down there.
Okay. I'm going to try this, and it might go really badly. I'm gonna kind of. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get your gift, and I'm gonna untie the rope. I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself, and try to feather fall into the pit.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you can jump down.
How deep was this pit again?
It's about 30, 40 feet. Yeah.
Oh, not too bad. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have to untie the rope from me because otherwise that would stay invisible or stay visible. I don't want a floating rope to like.
Okay.
Tyr is going to be prepared to fire.
Okay. Yeah. So you're sitting at the top, and yeah. So you can do that. Sure. You feather fall down. It's wide enough. I mean, you plop down into the. Actually, we'll do a silent move to see if he notices your.
Yeah, it's
feet.
9.
Okay. Yeah, you're already good at that. Unfortunately, you land exactly apparently where he could hear you, or maybe he can see you. You're not really sure. He turns and looks right at you.
Oh,
and
no.
He says, no one approaches so close to the king. Kneel. And he sees him get up because he's been sitting on the ground this whole time. He starts to get up.
Okay, I will, I guess, play along because now I'm like, oh God, my plan has been, and I will kneel.
You could play up the king part of it and say you're better than he is.
Yeah. Go ahead, and what's your intelligence?
Oh, 13. No.
Okay,
Yes,
roll a d6.
Okay. Sorry, he fell off my thing. 3.
Okay, yeah, you notice when he stands up that he's not really looking exactly at you. He's kind of like, kneel, show glory to the king.
So he heard me, but I think he can really see me. Can I try to move silently around behind him? See if he follows my footsteps.
He does not follow your footsteps. He's kind of looking in that area.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay quiet then.
Yeah, and then he seems a little confused, and he sits back down on the ground, and then he looks up at if anybody's at their head stick over the end anymore. I don't think you guys do. And if you don't, then he just kind of sits down on the ground, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything.
What can I see at my feet directly around me?
I mean, it's basically you realize when you landed, maybe you didn't think this, that it's solid down here. It's almost like the floor that was above, like got magically just like dropped like an elevator. So like it's a solid marble floor down here. And there's a bit of guck, he's like sitting in maybe like a couple inches of it. And yeah, you see like treasures, like lots of treasures. You see that rod or the scepter, I should say. You see some chalices that look incredibly valuable. You see some coins. You see lots of kind of stuff that probably might have had value, but is rotted, like elaborately carved boxes and his robes and stuff that have fallen off of him.
Okay, all right. Just gonna go for it. I'm going to try to move silently behind him and take the blunt end of my battle axe and crack him over the head.
You're gonna
And to knock him out, not kill him.
Oh my god! Okay. Make an attack. Yeah, you get that's the backstab, right? So you get a +4 to hit.
Okay, so I roll my 20.
Yep.
Ooh, 18.
Oh,
So
that's
it's
good.
a -3.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that hits him all right. I think you do double damage, if I'm not mistaken.
Where would that be on my sheet?
I think it says in the thief description. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Backstab says 3 times damage.
3 times. Okay. Well, you do 3 times, but I don't know if the bard does.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. Sorry, I have to find the
The
page.
thief will. It might be the same, but I'm not sure because the bard's not exactly the same thief as you are. Like you're a better thief than the bard is because the bard's a bard.
Actually, doesn't say backstab on mine.
Okay, perfect. Then you do 3 times the damage.
Okay. So it would be what with a blunt instrument? What would that roll be? A D6 again?
You can just do your battle axe damage. It's fine.
Oh god, that's the D8.
It'll just be considered like, blunt.
So 5 times 3, 15 points of damage.
Oof. Okay. All right. Of course, that makes you visible.
Right.
Yeah, you whack him pretty hard in the back of the head. His crown falls off. And he turns and looks at you, and his eyes, even though they're, like I said, they're black, but they kind of glow.
Oh.
And he reaches to basically strangle you to death.
So I didn't succeed in knocking him out then.
No, you didn't do enough damage to do that. He's pretty tough.
Oh no. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I'd like to shoot my arrow then.
Yeah. I mean, let me just check something because there is a in the alternate combat there is a special knockout thing. So let me just see what that would have been, but I don't think it's enough. I mean, he's pretty powerful. He is the king of Sarnath.
Well, I didn't think he was really the king.
I told you he was the king. Yeah, he's the king.
So,
But maybe he's the royal food taster or something.
yeah, I did it. Maybe he's just wearing the crown, trying to pretend he's the king.
No, I know what you say makes a lot of sense.
But it doesn't change the fact that he's the king. Sorry, Carrie. I didn't mean to.
So this would be pommel strike.
Harry's like, never playing with this
knock
chick
out an
again.
unsuspecting opponent. Pommel's weapon like says the maneuver is used against unaware humans. Surprise attack +4 bonus, which you just got. It's considered prone. Okay, the unmodified. Oh, would you roll? What was your roll originally? 18, right?
Yeah.
On an unmodified roll of 17 to 20, Assuming that qualifies as a hit, the victim is knocked senseless, stunned
Nice.
for 1d4 rounds, unless they make a saving throw. So it gets a saving throw. But
Okay.
otherwise, yeah, we'll use that alternate rule. There's like advanced combat in here that I don't usually use because I don't know all the rules, but we'll use it because that's what you're trying to do. Okay, but it's only, but because you're doing that, because that was your intention, and we're going to use that rule, it's only going to do that damage, which would have been 3 times 2, so only does 6 points of damage. But he might be, if he fails to save, then he'll be stunned.
Okay.
You rolled a 1. I'm gonna look, a 1 fails for sure. So yeah, his crown falls off, and he kind of stumbles forward, and I mean, he's not knocked out because he's clearly undead, and you can't really knock out undead, but yeah, he's stunned for a bit. You don't know how long, of course. You wouldn't.
What I will yell is, tie the rope to something. Let's get down here and take what we can. I don't know how long he's going to be down.
I mean, you would know that it won't be that long. I mean,
It won't. Yeah.
I'll
Well,
give you
maybe
that
I'll
much,
just
because you
take.
probably-
I'll
you
take
probably
the
done
crown. I'll take the scepter, and I'll gather up some of the coins. I don't know
Maybe
when
we
my
should-
bard all of a sudden turned into some
So,
sort
so
of.
just I'll give you mechanical so you can make a decision. That'll be he's
Okay.
stunned for 1d4 rounds. So now make your decision which one.
Oh, okay. I will grab the crown and the scepter.
Okay.
You could remove his head from his body.
Do you yell that at me? To just
Well,
kill him?
he's disabled, right? I mean, so
Yeah, she grabs the crown and the scepter. You yell that down. Okay. And then
Okay.
what's the Gruengraver there? What's Euphemius doing?
Well, I've got the rope, and hearing all this scrabble, I'm moving closer to the edge and throwing the rope down.
Okay.
I'm not going down myself.
Yeah, you're gonna hold the rope and toss it down. Okay, so as you grab the crown and the scepter, a rope flips down.
Okay.
And you hear your thief friend say to take his head.
Is he still out?
He is currently still yeah. I mean, he basically fell forward.
I don't
he's
want to
like-
be a murder hobo,
like,
so I will try to grab the rope and climb back up with my next turn, whenever that is.
Okay, yeah, you can do that now. He's
Okay.
still stunned. You can climb up the rope.
Are you taking the scepter and the crown?
I am. If
Yeah,
I can, if I have a pack or something, I'll just put them in there so I
Yeah.
can climb.
Yeah, it's fine. You can shove it through you can climb. Yeah. What's your speed? 40?
40, yes.
All right. So you basically get to the more or less halfway point of the top. Actually, don't you have a climb skill or no? Only the thief has that.
Yeah, I don't have, under my skills, thief abilities, no, I don't have the climb one.
Okay, so then you're only moving at half speed because you're climbing. So
Okay.
yeah, you get halfway up, being pulled up, which is cool. But he then like snaps back up and his eyes.
Oh no.
And what do you guys want to do? We're going to go into initiative because he's up and he does not like that you took his crown.
I will shoot my arrow.
Okay. Actually, you have a crossbow ready. You can do that before initiative, so you automatically get to do that because that's one of those two.
16. So that's a -1.
Hits.
That's 6 damage.
Okay. The arrow plunges into part of him, and he doesn't seem very happy about it. Okay, so that happens, and then what's everybody else doing?
I'm gonna keep climbing.
Okay.
I think I'm holding the rope, right?
Okay. Yep. I'm assuming that's what you're doing, but yeah. So you're gonna climb.
Oh, sorry.
Since your life is at risk, you're gonna roll initiative for combat there. Two's gooch.
Ugh,
Oh, you rolled a 1. Man, he's not doing good. Roll a d6 for initiative.
me?
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
Yep,
gooch.
okay. 3.
Yeah, you guys are gonna go first. So you climb. You can actually get to the top.
Yes.
You already shot your crossbow bolt and you're pulling the rope. So yeah, you actually get over the top, and then it's his turn.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay. He yells at you. Only the true king can wear the crown. Return it now or die.
No.
Put it on.
Please.
Right?
No, he says, may the vermin of the earth eat you from the inside out. What's your saving throw?
Roll a saving throw.
versus sorcerer?
No modifier, so just 18.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Nothing happens. Okay, so I mean you're in the room with them. We're just gonna do another round of initiative because he might do something. And
Okay.
you might do something, but currently you guys are all stepped back away from the edge of the hole and you hear him yelling in there.
Yeah.
Spitting curses at you that don't seem to be doing anything.
I rolled a 5 for the initiative.
Okay. What do you guys want to do?
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. What is your plan?
I think we should just leave. I don't think we should leave the room. What do you guys think? Try to get out.
That's good to me.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I have the crown and scepter of the King of Sarnath, guys. We should just go with this.
Seriously, we came here to show that we could take on this place. I'm very impressed.
Me too.
Way to go, Bilbo.
That was a twist. Okay, yeah. So you run for
So
the
we're going to try to go out.
All right, so your running speed is twice your regular speed. You got to go 200 feet. So it's going to take you 5 rounds to get to the door. Let me just see anything that he can do in between. Because you got simultaneous initiative, but he's in this hole, so. What is the hole? That is baller. I think he can do it. Oh. He says, bring me back my crown. Make a sorcery save.
Okay. Ooh, no. 10.
Okay. You guys are sprinting for the door when the bard stops and starts to move back towards the hole with the crown. You are being beckoned via the spell. I want to see how long it lasts, though. You were only 1 round away, so. Sorry, I'm looking at the spell now. I didn't think you were actually going to fight the King of Sarnath, so I wasn't.
Sorry, my bad.
No, I love it. That's what I love about RPGs. It's like you never know what people are going to do. Okay, sorcery. Beckon. Let's see. I know it draws you. It's actually the opposite of dismiss.
I will yell at him. If you're asking me to form a band, my name goes first, so it'll be Gooch and King of Sarnath, not King of Sarnath and Gooch.
No, he wants to call it the Kings of Sarnath.
Oh, that's good. That makes you a king.
Well, he said he was a king. Okay, no, hold on. No, actually, you can't use it. You would need to know your name to use this spell. So I'll retcon that. It doesn't work.
Oh.
He actually tries to call you like King of XII, and which of course is not really your name.
Right.
So it does not work. The spell fails.
Oh,
I think you got the crown. Wow, you just broke the game. I love it. You can't really do. All right, so that puts you 2 rounds up. He's going to try one more spell. I'm going to quickly look at it. See if he needs to be able to see you. Huh. Love it. Love this. You guys are. This tells me though that when I run this again, I need to have all the spells ready because I did not actually think you'd fight him. 30 foot. What's the range? Oh no, 10 feet. He can't. Well, he can actually do it, but it won't get to you fast enough. So the last thing you see is you're kind of about halfway across the floor. You see a dark, gross, thick cloud of green gas up here above the hole and start to move towards you, but it's not moving quite as fast as you are. So you're easily able to get through the door if you would like to do that.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. I am not taking any chances now that I've got the crown.
Yeah.
Door and close it.
Wow. Okay. That is crazy and excellent. So you run out into the main corridor again. And I guess I'm assuming close the door.
Slam that door shut.
Yeah.
And then
it fall off. It's not, you don't think it's airtight and that cloud is coming, but you don't know.
So we need to go through another door so that do you want to go through the one at the end where the fish man tried to go? Or
Do we want to stay here?
in the palace? I don't know. Oh my god, I've already done enough. I'm gonna let you guys do stuff for a second. I'm just like ecstatic. Can't believe I got away with that.
Wow.
Gooch.
The gooch. Yeah, so you guys run into the hallway. What do you guys want to do?
Maybe we should exit the palace and explore maybe the round building.
Oh,
Or
sure.
flee with our treasure.
You could put the crown on and try to exert your dominance over the
You could.
castle
Put
of
the crown.
Sarnath.
Oh.
I fall to one knee and put my flail down in front of me and say, "My king."
All right, Daniel, let's do it. I'm gonna put the crown on. I've got the scepter. Look at me. I'm the king of Sarnath.
Oh man. Okay.
Might as well, since
All hail the new king of Sarnath.
I mean I cleaned it off first. It's all mucky, so I'm like take a cloth and do a little polishing and then.
Okay, so you put the crown on.
Have a hat here, so there you go.
Yeah. Okay, the crown. Yeah, it's magnificent. It's dirty, of course. But even in that, it's magnificent. And you guys. And then what do you do when you put it on? Sorry, I took something up.
Oh, I grab also the scepter and I turn to my guys and look at me. I'm the king of Sarnath. The gooch, the king of Sarnath. Oh man, I'm gonna get rave reviews for this one. Rave reviews.
Does anybody have a 15 or more intelligence, or between the two of you guys?
No.
Okay, you
Nope.
are completely under the control.
I get down on my knees.
I'm gonna say, I want you guys to perform a hip hop dance routine to the thong song.
Hold on. So this is what it says. Those vulnerable to the effect will obey the wielder as though he were their unquestioned overlord, and they his loyal vassals. His issued commands will be obeyed without question. Even allies are subject to the wielder's will. The effect will persist for as long as the wielder grips the rod. You probably realize that. However, you're being a bard, you would know that there's only so many. Like it will eventually, basically, there's charges in a rod, and it's going to burn a charge for whenever you're holding it. So you know that it won't. If you use it too long, the rod will eventually lose its magical power.
All right, well, I actually don't want to hurt my friends here. I will be silly and just make them dance though for a minute, and I'll be like, look at that dress, so scandalous, and it was living la vida loca. She had dumps like a truck, thighs like what, all night long, and they have to dance. So
that takes about a turn.
Yeah, and then I'll take the crown off and the scepter and put it back in my bag. Oh, that was funny, guys.
Okay, yeah, you guys are like, oh, that was fun.
Never tell anybody that happened.
I recorded it all on my ye old iPhone camera.
Okay, so yeah.
So that happens.
You would realize, right, exactly, that this thing is magical. I suppose being the bard and being around magic and stuff, you think it's the more so the rod than the crown that did it.
Okay.
But
I will put them away, like I said. One silly thing.
Yeah.
One silly thing, and then I'll save it in case who knows what we might encounter on our future travels. So that'd be a good thing to kneel before me. I am your king.
Okay. That's pretty crazy and awesome. Okay, good. Just in case you want to use it. I modified it based on what you did because that was awesome. So that's basically how you make it work.
Okay.
Because in the thing, there's a different way to make it work, but I like the way you did it. So I'm going to send it to you.
So I have to say, guys, we seem to have robbed the king of his crown and scepter. Do we really want to hang out here and explore further, and take our chances?
Well,
so just mechanically, you've been here for about 2.5 hours total.
Okay.
So you do have time if you want to continue to explore.
You guys just give me 1 second. I'm just gonna use the facilities.
Well, I was gonna say this is actually a good time for that because we're right in the middle. So if we want to take like 5-10 minutes, use the restroom. We'll figure out what you guys want to do.
Okay.
Sure.
All right, guys.
Get back in a minute.
Be right back.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I didn't see the character name at first. It's very
Yeah, it's
tiny.
kind of, yeah, it's tiny. We're still recording. I'm gonna mute mine just for a sec. Harry, do you think we should continue to explore? Oh, you're muted.
There we go.
Yep.
The wise decision is that we're covered in glory and should just leave. Or at
We
least
could go.
you're covered in glory. I held a rope.
That's right. If it hadn't been for you, I wouldn't have gotten out of there. So
I could see, based on how successful you were, maybe it's worth looking for more stuff, pushing our luck. There could be something, I look up at the ceiling, up toward the top of that tower where it kind of becomes a pyramid.
right.
Or there might be something over there in that dome thing. But probably the smart thing to do is just leave.
Right. So that he can't get us.
Unbelievable.
That just all the rolls went okay, and that I yeah.
I just imagine that poor King of Sarnath in his pit for forever. I'm King of Sarnath. Where's my crown? Come back.
I can't use invisibility anymore. It's a once a day thing, but still, it was worth it. Poor Daniel.
I know. Have you played with him before?
Yeah, last year's GaryCon, we played a really fun game.
This rule set?
No, it was a different game about space vampires.
Oh yeah, space vampires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was super fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that. I mean, yeah, the poor King of Sarnath.
Oh, that's what I was saying.
You totally stole his crown and the scepter. Wow.
Yeah.
I've still got my robes.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Okay, that's pretty good. Already, you're doing better than the last group as far as treasure. You're only halfway through. No, they just went a different route. It's actually that's pretty awesome. I honestly didn't think that anybody would fight the king, so that's pretty cool. That you didn't just. Not only did you not fight him, really, you stole from him, which is.
So, top of the ziggurat, or head towards like the door, or back out to the dome.
Your new name is Bilbo, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. So just to kind of recap, so you're back in that main hallway again. I mean, I'm assuming you're going to stand right next to the door, but
No.
if you stood there, for a bit, you will see some of that kind of cloud kind of creep out into through some of the holes in the door, but it doesn't go very far. It just kind of lingers in that area. So it's not. It might not be a good idea to walk back in there right now, but
Oh no.
but you, but you're totally safe from it. You do have the door that the fish man was trying to go through, which is on the west wall, which is a normal sized door. There's also the very large door that was all the way on the east wall, but all the ways when you first walked in. And then also, of course, of note is the fact that there's all these pillars seem to go up through the ceiling.
Right.
Or you can go back outside and there's that dome, or you can walk around, you can do whatever you want.
Do you want to try to go to the top?
Yeah, I kind of like the idea of exploring the top of the ziggurat.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to look around at these, there's plenty of these columns, pillars, whatever you want to call them, that go up through the ceiling. You can find one that all the pieces of metal seem firm enough to walk up. You can certainly do that. Is somebody going first, or how do you guys want to approach kind of climbing up through the ceiling?
Being the thief, I think I'll go first just to kind of test the waters.
Okay. So,
I'll be in the back, protect your king, everyone.
You're the king of Sarnath.
I'm still trying to figure out what a thong is,
Right?
All right, let me pull up the map. For
I think it's kind of like a sling.
Ye old thongus.
And you want me to put that where?
Okay, so you you creep up through the following the spiral staircase, for lack of a better word, up through this column, and I'm going to put you somewhere in the middle of the hallway just to make it easy. You're kind of like 3/4 of the way to the north. As you kind of pop up your head and you look around, you see the hallway that's on the second floor. Again, it has this kind of eerie, kind of soft light here. I mean, you would probably imagine that when Sarnath was strong and powerful, this whole place was lit up through magical light, but now the magic is starting to wane a bit. So you can see, but it's not very bright. In any case, this hallway is, insofar as its structure, is exactly like the one below it. So it's 60 feet wide. It runs the whole length of the building. It has you see the columns just like you see below, except when you look up now, they stop at the ceiling. So they start at the bottom and they go up the whole, through that first roof, 50 feet up, and then another 50 feet up to this roof, and then they stop. So you can't continue to climb up from here, to another floor. As far as doors are concerned in this hallway, you've got on the west wall, you've got a door way up on the north side, so kind of right over where that throne room door was that you've gone through, and one all the ways down on the south side, so over the other big door that you didn't go through. On the west wall, I'm sorry, that's the east wall. That's the west. On the west wall, there's one door. It's in the center of the hallway. And all of these doors are like the normal, 8 to 10 foot tall size doors. There's no monsters in here. I think that's what you're waiting for me to end with. And a dragon.
One door on the west wall. That could be one really big room. Could be.
Yeah.
So you go up and you explain what's going on. Is everybody going to come up, or are you guys going to stay downstairs, or how do you want?
Well, I think we should all just kind of go up. Otherwise, we're kind of stuck on the stairs.
Yeah.
If there's no monsters in the room, Daniel.
You don't see any monsters, no.
I could control them anyway. I am their king.
Could actually do that.
2 questions. We know that this isn't the top of the ziggurat, right? Because we
100%,
saw.
yeah.
Okay. And are there any windows out on any of these places that we've been?
You've not seen a window yet.
Okay.
So I'm worried that we don't stay in here too long. So we might have a situation where we lose track of time, and the water comes back in and we're lost.
Yeah, I am tracking, just mechanically, I am tracking it. And if we'll assume that your characters have a pretty good sense. So if you ask me at any point, I'll tell you how long you've been here.
Okay.
So it took you about an hour to walk out to this place. You had 8 hours total. So I put a little timer for 6 hours, basically, because at the end of 6 hours, you're probably not going to get back in time, because an hour to walk out. And then you are, exploration wise, you've been here a little over 2.5 hours now. It took you about 40 minutes to get down the wall and to the castle. That's partially because you didn't know how to get down, but of course you also don't know how to get up. So
yeah, that's one little problem, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's where you're at there. Yeah.
So we're doomed. Either way, we're doomed.
Pretty much.
Yeah, ring a feather fall doesn't get you back up.
No.
Let's go through the big door.
Okay, agreed.
The one that's in the center of the wall?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. So you go up to this door. Again, it kind of looks, so this hallway again is just like the one below. It's intricately carved, with all these scenes. I mean, nothing repeats either. It's not like it's like wallpaper. I mean, this is like crazy, the amount of work that must have gone into this. And this is a finely made door. It opens towards you. If you were to, it's like a pull handle. It's about a normal size door in the wall.
Do we hear anything coming from within the room?
You want to listen? Okay.
Do.
No. Sounds pretty quiet.
Any traps on the door?
Okay.
612 is what I have.
No, you don't see any traps on the door at all. You look around the frame, you look on the handle, everything seems pretty clear. It seems like a pretty simple door.
Not locked?
It is not locked.
Okay. I'll pull it open.
Okay. Yeah, there's not even a lock on it. It's like literally just a handle. Yeah, you pull it open. You are looking into a room that is basically a cube. It is 20 foot by 20 foot by 20 foot. Directly across from you on the east wall, there is a door that looks kind of like the door that you just came through.
No stairs though, right? Nope.
It is an empty room. It is like, when I say empty, it's like all the other rooms. It's basically intricately carved and with relief sculpture, but there's no chairs in here or anything. It is by far the smallest room you've seen so far.
Do we want to cross this room or do we want to check one of the other doors?
What do you think of Phineas? Phineos.
Why don't Gooch, why don't you hold the door that we just opened open while Tyr and I go over and open the next door.
All right.
The wall.
Okay.
We don't want to get trapped in this little room.
So I'll kind of stand in front of the door so it can't close without hitting me.
Okay. Makes sense.
Well,
yeah.
that means I'm a little bit outside the room, kind of standing with my back to the door. Because you said it pulls open, right?
Yeah, it pulled open. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this door, when you walk across the room, this door is like the other door, except when you get to it, you realize that it pushes in.
Okay.
And just so you know, you're more than welcome to do whatever searching, trap searching, listening, whatever, but that all takes time. So do you want to check this door?
Yeah, I'll check this door for traps.
Okay. No, I don't see anything. Looks pretty clear. No lock, no trap.
Guess we'll pull it open. Or push it open.
Yeah, so you push this one open. And when you do, you're looking into a room that's about a 20-foot cube. There's a door on the opposite side.
Great.
Do we want to try to do this, or do we want to try to go out to the dome and be closer to the walls? I don't know, timing wise.
Yeah, let's go see what those other doors are like. This just seems, I don't know, I almost feel like I'm feeling like I'm in an illusion or something, that we're just going to see more 20 by 20 doors.
Yeah, but a bad feeling about this.
Going off, Daniel. Is there any
Do you want to? You try to disbelieve?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can make a sorcery saving throw. All of you can do it.
Fail.
Ooh, 5.
16.
Yeah, I mean, you all feel like it's pretty real. You know, it seems solid to you.
In the first 20 by 20 cube, obviously we didn't go through the second door. Can I just walk around the room, just do a quick once over, looking for any kind of, not just traps, but
Secret door and stuff?
Secret door, something that could be manipulated, buttons.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, you spend, a little bit of time in the room checking it out, very, very thoroughly. And the room appears to just be a simple, basic room. You can't imagine, what it's here for, maybe, or maybe you can imagine what it's here for, but there's no feature that stands out. Like, it doesn't look like it'd be like a bath or a bedroom, or it's too small based on everything else to be some kind of like a meeting room. So it just seems like a strange room. But there's no secret doors and no traps and no,
Yeah, we could probably go on forever just opening door after door onto cube rooms. I mean, I think we should maybe check another door, or I bet it's up to you guys.
Let's do that.
Okay, yeah. So you guys go back. You let the doors do close behind you. They kind of close, and you're back in that main corridor. So you've got on the east wall, you have one door way at the northern side, which would be again above where the throne room was, just to give you proportion. And then you have one way down at the southern side, which would be above that other door that you had seen.
How dangerous would it be to go into a room above the throne room?
I'm not going in there.
All right, so that means we want the southern one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you did. I mean, not to whatever, just to give you information, just in case. You did look at the roof of the throne room, and it didn't seem to be. You didn't seem to be a way to see through it, as far as you could tell. But that could have been an illusion. Who knows? So you go down to the southern door. Again, it's like a bigger type of door, and you want to pull it open. It's like a regular door you pull open, not locked or anything.
Sure.
All right, cool. Yeah, you pull it open, and you're looking down a hallway that is maybe you would imagine it's pretty much that like half the length of the building. Like, it goes down far, like about 150 feet. And at the very end of it, there's a set of stairs going down. On the northern wall of this corridor, which is about 20 feet wide, is a set of double doors.
Stairs going down, and I don't know.
I vote double doors.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I'm not sure. You guys made Echo do something.
Oh, sorry.
But no, it's fine. I never know what sets her off because nobody said Echo. Sometimes it's always like, I don't know how to do that. Yes, neither do I. So you guys move down this corridor. Again, intricately carved, beautiful stuff. You are noticing too on the second floor, I guess you point this out, that there's less muck and stuff. I mean, which probably makes sense. And yeah, these double doors are beautiful. They're about 12 foot tall. They are carved. Most of the other doors that you've seen so far have not been carved. These are carved with, again, it's all in relief of, looks like battle scenes.
Oh. Do I hear anything?
You do not.
Sorry. You know you're lying now, Dave.
No, you didn't make your roll. You did not hear that.
Sorry.
No, that was good.
That's playing.
That was perfect timing. Okay, so
I'll pull the
maybe
door
it's a
open.
kind of war room. Maybe we'll find weapons.
You gonna pull the door open? Okay, cool. Yep. All right, so you pull the door open. This is a huge room. It's probably the biggest room you've been in so far. So it's even bigger than the throne room.
Wow.
It is most notably about half of a third, we'll say, of the room is taken up by a circle that is carved into the ground. It's a relief. Everything's relief in this whole place. They love their relief carvings. It's carved in relief on the ground, and it is painted, so it's really obvious. The floor itself is white, and then you have this like painted relief in the ground, about 1.5 feet, 2 foot wide. It takes up about a third of the room. It's in the center. Littered around outside the circle are lots of pieces of wood. Some of them you can recognize as pieces of benches and stuff. Along all the walls, you see racks of weapons, most of which are kind of crumbled and falling and kind of scattered about and rusted. I mean, so you can imagine there's probably 1,000 weapons in this room at least. But in good old school module style, I'll tell you the most obvious feature last. In the center of the circle, in the middle of the room, is what appears to be a Fey type man. He's got very drawn features. He's dressed in beautiful like plated armor. He is sitting kind of like he's like sitting on, like, if you imagine sitting on your feet, like you kneel down and sit on your feet. He is holding in his hand a sword that is in two pieces, is broken. And he seems to be weeping. And you probably notice immediately that he is kind of translucent. You can kind of see through him a little bit.
Like a ghostly figure?
Like a ghostly figure, yep.
Okay.
He does not seem to notice you. He's facing kind of... you're coming in through the south. He is facing to the east.
Is the sword solid, or is it a ghostly sword as well?
It also seems to be ghostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else in the room seems solid except for this guy and his sword. And he's weeping.
Interesting.
Okay. Do we want to interact with this? Take our luck? Or take our chances?
Well, maybe he can tell us what happened to Sarnath.
Ooh, good idea. More lore from my songs.
That would be pretty big story.
Do you want to talk to him, or do you want me to talk to him? Or do you want Tyr to talk to him?
Who's the most charismatic?
Definitely not me.
Probably the bard.
I have 16.
Yeah, I have 13, so.
I have 7.
Oh, I will walk. I'm not going to step at all on the runes or in the circle, just outside. Okay. And I will say, it's a man, you said, right? A fey man?
Yeah, it looks like a very, like, you can tell it's a man based on the way he's dressed. I mean, you would imagine, but it looks very fey. And I should also point out, I guess just because everybody's pretty new to the system, that this is not the kind of world where like elves and dwarves and stuff are normal things. Like a fey creature, like an elf, is a monster to you. Like it's something you wouldn't normally see.
Oh, so I'm not going to go up and talk to it.
I mean, not necessarily a monster in the sense that would eat your face, but you definitely, it's not like everybody here is a person. Like everybody you interact with is a human for the most part. I mean, the fishmen are also very weird, obviously. But I'm not telling you not to talk to it, but just that when you do your conversation, keep in mind that he's a fey creature, and think of like old legends, like you don't necessarily trust fey or blah blah blah. Like you would know that as a bard.
Oh, okay. Then I won't even walk up to the edge of the circle. I'll kind of stand back and just kind of yell, "Hey, why are you crying?"
Okay, so when you call to him, you briefly notice, you're all looking, I guess. So you briefly notice appearing inside the circle are more apparitions. Something like, I mean, you don't have time to count them, but at least somewhere close to a dozen, we'll say, of men that are all laying on the ground. They look like they've been slain, and then they disappear. And then he looks at you and he says, "I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my sword to be repaired. They said to wait here. They said to wait."
Okay. So he looks human, or human-ish, humanoid.
Like an elf, basically. I mean,
like an elf, okay.
Like an old school D&D elf. So he's like about 5 foot tall. He's very, very slender. He's got like pointy ears.
Pointy ears, okay.
I
look at Tyr and Euphenios and I say, I think he might be trapped in some sort of time loop or some sort of world where he's just going to keep waiting for his sword forever. So I don't know what you want to do with this information.
Are you saying this super, super soft, or are you kind of not talking normally?
Yeah. I'm trying to just talk to these two guys.
Okay.
I'd like to say to him, excuse me, who said they would fix your sword? Or where did they take it?
The smith. The king's smith should fix my sword. I am the champion of all the world. I won. You can see in my glory. I have defeated all the other champions. But my sword, it broke. And the smith should fix it. They told me that. They told me he'd fix it.
I have a blacksmith ability. But we'd have to find the sword.
You could give him one of the ones that are on the rack.
It's probably a special sword for him, though.
I know. Just being.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say, I mean, as you're maybe thinking that, I mean, the sword that he's holding, that's a broken sword, is like a beautiful sword. It's not like probably like no sword you've ever seen before. It's incredibly elaborate.
Is it also translucent, like
Yep.
as it's holding it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and it's got a kind of a slightly long blade, kind of basically like a long sword, but it's like thinner than you would normally see. And it's very very fine looking. You know, the handle and you know.
Do we see any sword like this on the racks?
I mean, the room there's a huge room. So I mean, immediately near you, no, you don't see any sword.
Okay.
You'd
I'm
have
not
to
sure what to do.
for it. Yeah.
Can I ask him, do you know what direction they took your sword or where the blacksmith is?
He says the king's smith is at the top of the palace when the sun beats down and he draws the power of the stars to heat up the metal and fix swords and build the armor that allows Sarnath to rule the world.
Interesting. Okay.
I'm a little bit slow here, but if you're waiting for your sword to be fixed, how come you're holding it?
He seems confused by that, and he says, "But they will send for the sword. I don't. No, they will. They will." He seems confused.
He is holding a sword, right?
Yep. Yeah, and he's looking at it like he seems confused by like basically he's like, yeah, why am I holding this sword? That's exactly his reaction. He's just like, whoa, what?
Yeah, he's stuck, I think, in some kind of way.
He seems to be getting agitated now with that, and he's trying to figure it out. He's like, but they said they would not. They wouldn't. I am the champion of all Sarnath, and yeah, you can. All the weapons and stuff that are on the ground start like vibrating in the room.
Do you want to book it? Do you want to go? I mean, I don't know if we can help this guy, and we have limited time.
There's no other way out of this room, right? Just the way we came back.
There's another door actually. Yeah, I should have mentioned that. I guess there is a door. Basically, if you went all the ways to the north side of the room, it would be on the west wall. I mean, I think because of your explanation, you would probably realize that it's the other door in the corridor. So yeah, there is another way out, but it's through the other door that you saw that you didn't go through already.
All right.
So the other door, like the one over the king?
That's right.
So okay. So it's like a circle, like almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going direction.
You would imagine that you're over the throne room now.
Oh, okay. In the room with the Fey man, we're over the throne room.
More or less. I mean, this room's bigger than the throne room, so you might not be exactly over it, but you're more or less over it.
Okay, just one thing. What happens if I put the crown on? Not the scepter, just the crown, and be like, I don't know if they can fix your sword. You might just want to move on. Just the crown.
Okay, yeah, you say that to him. He looks at you. He says, Actually, do a what's your charisma?
16.
All right, so just roll a d20 and try to get under your charisma.
Under? I rolled 16.
Okay, that's good enough. It's just not the best roll, but it's good. He looks at you and he says, "But I my king, I need my sword. A champion must have his sword." And then he actually starts to weep. And actually the all the stuff that was vibrating stops. And he kind of falls down on his knees and he's weeping again.
Okay, I'm going to go back over to my guys and I'll say, I don't think we can help him. I think he might be stuck. I think we should, I don't know about you guys, but maybe we should move on in the interest of getting out of here on time. I don't know. It's up to you. You can do whatever you guys want. I'll do what you say, but I don't know if we can help him.
Agreed. But if we do find it, I might like to bring it back to him.
Well, I mean, we could always come back tomorrow night, if we find it.
Come back in 100 years.
Right, yeah.
It's only one time every 100 years.
That's
so
right, one time it is.
you'll
Okay,
leave it
so
up for your great grandchildren.
Right.
leave the
We'll
room.
make it like a family quest thing.
Um,
Go back out in the hall.
yeah.
Unless you want to try anything, Euphenios. I'm not trying to like tell you we have to.
No,
Okay.
no. I think this guy is a trouble. He's trouble. I wouldn't mind finding his sword and taking it, but I wouldn't. Personally, I wouldn't give it back to him because he might just try to,
Kill us.
well, and take over the world again. He's the champion of the world, after all.
True.
So we don't really have any more place to go on this level, as far as I know, except for back through those 20 by 20 rooms, right?
Yeah, you didn't see any other doors. You would garner that these stairs go back down, obviously, to the first floor. Someplace you haven't been on the first floor, but to the first floor. And that room was so large that you think it probably took up all of, if not more than that section of the floor. So yeah, the only place that you really haven't been would be through more of those 20 by 20s.
How much time do we have?
So you till the 6 hour point. I mean, I don't know how much time you want to factor to leave, but you've got just about an hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
No, I'm
Wow.
sorry. No, 2 hours and 40. Hold on. 2 hours and 40 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
And we still got to figure out a way to get back up to the wall.
Right.
So
Exactly.
maybe we should head toward the dome building.
Agreed.
At least we know there's some rubble that will get us 150 feet from our target.
Right. That sounds good.
Yeah, for sure.
Daniel, I had a question. On the overhead map that you showed us, there looked like there might be some sort of tunnel or some connection between the castle that we're in and the dome.
It was a road, like
Oh, it's a road.
an
Okay.
elaborately wide road.
All right. Well,
Yeah, you definitely could take that road and get there pretty quickly because it's a straight shot. Yeah.
Let's do that. I'm all for that. If you are, Tyr and
Sounds like a plan.
the Gooch
Okay.
is on board.
Do you want to go back the way you came, or do you want to try these stairs?
let's try the stairs.
Stairs.
Okay, why not? Why not?
We are here to play,
Yeah.
sort of.
All right, yeah. So you see a set of stairs going down. Any precautions, or are you just gonna walk downstairs?
I'll go
try to
down.
walk quietly.
Yeah, I'll go down first quietly.
Okay.
I'm at the end also trying to creep a little.
All right.
I'm not much good at creeping, I don't think.
Yeah. You stay back and stab things until. All right. So yeah, you creep. Let's see. What's your move silent?
Move silent. Is
Mine is 9.
9. Yeah.
Wow, you guys are super quiet as you tiptoe down to you get about halfway down the stairs and you look and you can see into this room before you kind of get down the rest of the way. This particular room is it's about 160 feet from east to west, and it ends in a wall. There's no door there. It's about 60 feet north south. There is a door on the north wall, far over to the east side. And standing in this room are what looks like a group of soldiers. There's 24 of them. They are kind of standing in a formation, 4 foot, 4-man deep by 6-man wide formation. And in front of them is what looks to be like maybe their officer, because he's in finer garb. Though that's all relative, because they are basically moldy and parts are falling off of them, and they look like they're clearly, some kind of an undead troop. They've
Okay,
not noticed you, as far as you can tell. They're just-
we have 2 options here. I can either try to command them with my rod and crown, or we can go back up and go out the way we came. 24 seems like a lot to try to fight head on.
Yeah.
No guarantees they would try to fight us, but no guarantees they wouldn't either.
How confident do you feel if you wore the crown and the scepter?
I mean, pretty good. I managed to make you guys dance.
Pretty good.
And I have this great idea for what I could do with this.
I think the question is, do you want to be followed by 24 undead soldiers?
I could just tell them to stay and keep doing what I tell them to.
True.
But I don't want to get us all killed either.
Well, the safe thing to do then is go back the way we came.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You definitely could do that. I mean, either way works. You go back up. I mean, they don't seem to notice your footsteps as you had this quick conversation. You kind of whisper to each other, and you move back up the stairs. They don't move as far as you can tell. And you get back in that kind of corridor, and you follow it down into that main like wide space. You can take that same set of double stairs down, or spiral stairs down, I should say. And you're down on the ground floor again. If you were to even take a peek and notice, you'll see that kind of noxious cloud that was floating near the door is gone now.
Okay.
Not that you were going that way anyways. Yeah, you could, you want to head towards the dome, I should say.
Dome, yep.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I was going to make them all line dance to honky tonk badonka donk. And it would have been amazing, just so you know. I do that for eternity.
I think the power has gone to her head.
Oh boy. Okay.
Just dancing to honky tonk badonka donk for the rest of time.
Someday you're going to end up in a pit. I'm the king of Sarnath.
Yeah, that's how you end up in the pit. Exactly. All right, so I'll just show you the screen again so you guys can see. This is it, I think. Share. Yeah, you look at the map now, right? Yeah, so this thing right here that you're asking about here is basically a roadway. It's actually raised slightly. That's why it's darker.
Okay.
So you when you walk on that, I mean, it's actually super fast to get to it. Like this space right here is like a quarter of a mile. So I mean, you know, but you'll move much faster because of the
It's raised, so it's not quite as nasty with water and silt.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
like when the water receded, it kind of like cleaned it off a bit, so you can actually notice it's almost like, I guess you'd call it a bridge, you know, but it's very long, of course.
Okay.
And it's kind of coming up, and it's like, so yeah, you definitely can do that. You come out into the moonlight. You see the moon is now moved pretty deeply across, and you know that you know you've been down here for just shy of 4 hours as you get to the dome itself. As you're getting closer to it, of course, you would clearly see this. The dome seems to be one solid piece, as most things have been, and it is, except for the fact that it is cut by a very large door, a door that looks very similar to what was on the castle, like a large 60-foot tall double wooden door.
That's huge. Wow.
With pull handles on it.
So we would all need to probably assist Euphenios with opening it again. I am going to listen first.
Okay, yeah, you can.
I mean, they're pretty thick probably, but I'm just going to try. It's a 7.
Yeah, you put your ear against the door and listen for a bit. Let me actually see what's in there.
Is the dome like stone, or is it made of
Yeah,
gold?
now that you're closer to the dome and you kind of you kind of look at it, it's actually made of crystal. But it's covered in mud, so it looked like a solid thing. But yeah, as you look at it, you're like, maybe you scrape some of the mud off of it, and you can actually kind of see through it. It's so you can not only listen, you can look in.
I do both.
Like a very thick crystal dome.
Okay.
But let me just see what's inside the dome. That we might see immediately. Okay, this is basically, and it could probably completely weird to you, as you would imagine. Although not that anything else hasn't been weird. It is apparently a completely untouched and in perfect shape, like a garden, we'll call it. Like, I mean, you see trees in there, like tall, full trees. You see grasses,
Like
flower beds. It's almost like you could imagine, because it's crystal, that maybe it was kind of like a greenhouse, like a huge greenhouse. And it looks like even though it was underwater or whatever, it doesn't look like it was affected by that, because it looks like it's so overgrown, like nobody's been maintaining it for 10,000 years. So it looks like a jungle in there, like a crazy jungle.
Ooh, cool.
Hmm.
So like in the movie by the Old Norse, Sir Polly Shore and Biodome. You know, ye old biodome. Sorry, anyway, ignore me. Sorry, I can't help it.
Poem of Biodome. Yeah, it's like that, exactly.
I think we should explore this for what time we have left. This looks really cool, guys.
It does look very interesting.
So we'll help you open the door. Do I hear anything, Daniel, with my listen?
So yeah, when you're listening in there, you actually do hear faint sounds of what you think would be like animals, you know, like birds and stuff, which again is probably very freaky considering that, you know, you've been under the
Nothing
water.
else is, yeah.
You haven't seen anything like that except for the fisherman. The fisherman and the king are the only things. Oh, and I guess the ghost. Although he wasn't really alive, I guess.
There are animals in there. I don't know how big. I hear birds and things, but in this land, who knows? There could be bird men. But what did we come here for if not to take this kind of chance? I say we go for it.
Pull the door open.
Okay, we'll help you.
I rolled a 5.
That's enough for both of them helping. So you guys pulled it. You managed to pull the door open, and you immediately smell like the you know, the fresh smell of like being in a garden. You know, you smell like the flowers very strong, and the trees and the kind of that smell that you'd have like being in the forest in the spring, as opposed to the nasty, mucky, fishy smell you've been smelling for the last, you know, hour or two.
Oh, my allergies already gone.
And yeah, you're looking in at, and you can tell like right in front of you that there's like, this area is not as bad as the rest. It looks like there's probably like wide pathways of, you know, 20, 30, 40 foot wide originally that went through this place that are paved with just like beautiful stone. However, it's super overgrown. So there's like, you know, 2 foot tall grasses coming through all the stones and pushing things away. The trees have kind of fell over into the thing. So yeah, you can't, it's like you're literally looking into, you could follow a path, but it's going to be like a rough path where you have to move stuff out of the way and kind of that kind of thing.
Like a machete type clearing the jungle type thing.
You probably do it without having to hack away, but you
Okay.
but you will not be moving tremendously fast, I guess. You know, it's like exploring through a very thickly wooded area.
Okay. Looking through the trees, I know it's really overgrown. Do we or up? Do we see anything that might be peeking above the trees, like a ruin of some kind? If someone built some kind of house here or anything like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you look up and you see that there is actually just faintly, you probably wouldn't notice until you looked up, just faintly glowing above. There is what looks like a I don't know, maybe the size of a man, so maybe like 6 foot or so diameter, like ball, for lack of a better word, of light. And it's kind of like throwing light on this whole place. But you don't see any structures from where you're standing, but you do see that, and you realize that probably, you know, maybe that's what's been sustaining this.
Like an artificial sun sort of type thing.
Exactly.
All right. I don't know what you guys want to do.
I guess we just go down this path. And ultimately, we're looking for a way out of this place. So either we need to, I don't know how this dome is going to get us out, but it's really interesting to explore. So let's just go down the path.
Just a little ways. We don't have to spend all day, you know.
Right. It's like the amusement park is closing soon, but we can just try this one area.
That's what it feels like.
You start moving, you know, towards the center, we'll say, because that's where the roads lead to, and you can see the small forking paths that come off, and you definitely see this was originally set up as gardens where you actually pass small structures that have kind of the jungle itself has taken them, you know. So unlike the other stuff you've seen that have been rotted away by water, like it's more like small like sitting areas with benches that are just now covered in branches and brambles and things like that. And again, all of this stuff is, if you could take it out of here, would be incredibly valuable, but you know, carrying a huge bench or whatever is not the most practical thing at this point. And as you're moving forward through this, you see some kind of a clearing ahead, and you kind of move forward and look into it, and you're looking into about a 60-foot clearing. In the clearing, you see all the grass and stuff is like normal, like what you would think, like somebody came in like with a regular lawnmower and came in here and mowed this regularly. And the center of that 60-foot area is a 30-foot circle that are mushrooms that are all about, they're ranging from normal size mushrooms, like little mushrooms, to about a foot tall. And that's about 10 foot or so thick. So there's like a circle of it. And then inside that circle, you see a woman. And she does not see you right away. She is kind of tall, on the taller side. She's incredibly slender and beautiful, kind of fayish looking, but not maybe your typical fayish looking. And she is, naked, of course. And she's just kind of, she's humming a tune to herself and kind of like, moving around, like almost like dancing to music that you can't hear. And she's looking the other way, so you don't see her. I mean, she doesn't see you.
Okay.
Do the characters that are on the reliefs that are all over the walls look fayish?
There was enough of them that you probably saw. There were some of them were like not entirely, but some of the representations of different nations were. And so like not every single Sarnathian was fayish, but they did rule the world. So apparently the Fae were somehow in connection with them. Yeah. So yeah.
How far away is she?
So this thing's 60. She's in the center, so she's about 30 feet away from you.
Okay. All right, what if I tried to mesmerize her and ask her what's the best way out of Sarnath?
Right.
She could be friendly.
Oh, maybe. Well, she's Fae. We don't trust Fae, right?
Like he said,
I mean, it's up to you if you trust them. I just wanted to I didn't want to like direct how you play your characters, but just so you understood the world. Like it's not like elves are walking around everywhere. So it's definitely a Fae creature.
Well, I just don't know if she's friendly or not. Should we say something? It looks like she's dancing to some music only she can hear. Just a little weird. I mean,
nothing wrong with that. You're a bard. You should be used to that.
Right. I'm just saying we don't want to startle her and have her.
How
You can
tall
get
is
pretty into it, especially if she's got these mushrooms.
Can you sing something that goes along with the movement she's making?
How tall is she, Daniel?
What's that?
How tall is she again?
She's somewhat like close to 6 feet tall.
About my height. Okay.
And very, very thin and beautiful. She's quite beautiful.
Oh God, I'm gonna embarrass myself.
I'm gonna be bold here. I'm gonna step into the circle.
Oh God.
And I have a dexterity of 17, and I'm gonna ask her if she'd like to dance.
You're gonna step into where she is, like past the mushrooms, or you're gonna step into the grass?
I'll step into the grass.
Okay. Oh, hold on a second.
What have I got to lose besides my life?
Yeah, you got nothing to lose at this point, right? Okay.
A crown and scepter.
Oh, you can run.
Okay, you step out into the grass and you address her, and she turns. She doesn't seem overly startled, like she's dancing, And then you say something, and she turns. I'm sorry, what'd you say to her?
I would just ask her, my lady, would you care to dance?
And she says, "Oh, good sir, it's been so long since a gentleman has visited. Please come dance with me." And she sticks her hand out.
I'll step over. Why not?
Okay, yeah. So you step through, the circle of mushrooms, and nothing happens. You walk right through it.
Gingerly, so I don't crush any of them. Yeah,
right. Exactly. I was gonna say you're careful, and maybe not to crush them if you want. And yeah, when you get into the center, she takes your hand, and you feel very euphoric, and she starts to dance, and you can actually hear music while she's touching you, and she starts to dance with you to the music.
Okay.
You guys work on the music.
We can't hear the music?
You can't hear it. It's just in their head.
Did you say that she was an apparition or not?
No. No, she's Fae-like, like the apparition was, but she seems to be solid as far as you can tell. I mean, she's touching.
She's touching Tyr.
The thief.
While we're dancing, can I speak to her and just ask her who she is and what she's doing here besides dancing?
Yeah, I mean, you would think you could do that. Yeah, I mean, she tells you that she is She's like, oh, I am from, and she starts telling you like the name of a kingdom that you've never heard from before, and then she just like she's speaking your language. Also, again, she's speaking your language. She's speaking Ixian, and she says, we traveled here. I traveled with my father to meet the king. Hopefully, we'll meet him tomorrow. I was just exploring the gardens, and I haven't seen him in a while. When will the feast start?
Shall I tell her the bad news?
But the king's right here.
Right? All right. I put on the crown.
So I'll say this too, just so it's all this conversation you're having, by the way, nobody else hears. Like you're literally, you guys just hear her dancing with the, yeah. So I should put that out. So it's kind of in your head, basically, just to be the clearer way to say it. I mean, you guys just see him dancing. You don't hear the music. You don't hear the conversation. He seems to be happy.
Euphonius, what should we do here?
We're wasting time. I don't want to be trapped down here for eternity. Are we in the center of the dome? Or
so you look up and you notice directly above you is that light. So you are a dead center.
So, we haven't seen any access hatches would be the proper term, but we'd think of trapdoors or something. Any doors leading down, that would be used to maintain this place.
No, you have not seen that. Yeah, no, you wouldn't have seen anything like that. You walked just down the main fairway.
Yeah, and looking up at the dome, it looks like it's intact from wherever we can see, right?
Yeah, it looks perfect, and in fact, it looks it's incredibly dirty, and from being in the bottom of the lake for so long. So that's why it almost looks solid from the outside. But now that you're inside, you can see that it's very there's like a soft glow around it because it looks like it's made out of some kind of crystal. And it's also notably warmer in here. I should mention that. I guess you would notice that. Not hot, but it's warmer than outside because it wasn't particularly warm outside. It was like the fall.
Gooch, I'm worried we're going to be trapped in here. I think we better get Tyr and leave. He's enjoying himself too much.
I will yell at Tyr. Does she know a way out of Sarnath? Can he hear me? I don't even know if he can hear me.
Yeah, you can hear her.
I will ask. Did you give us a name for her? I don't remember if you said her name.
Did I say her name? I don't think so. Her name is Amelia.
I would ask Amelia. If she knows a way out of here.
Oh, there are 500 roads that lead to Sarnath and 50 gates that pierce the walls.
50 gates.
Any of them would do. Or you could come by the sea. Many travel across the lake to enter in and see the combat with the sea serpents by the mighty champions of the world.
Oh, gee.
Interesting. I'm going to attempt to explain to her that something has happened and she's been trapped within this crystal dome for 1,000 years, however long it's been.
Okay. Go ahead. And what's your charisma?
My charisma is 13.
That's not bad. All right, so let's see how she takes it. Roll a d20 and try to roll into your charisma.
Oh gosh, 17.
Okay. She pushes you back and she says, liar, you're telling me my family is dead and all is gone? Don't lie to me, you fiend. And you can see that her eyes are starting to glow a little bit. Yeah, you guys see this, of course, too. And let's roll initiative.
Okay.
What do you want to roll?
You might as well, because you're the most likely person to die at this point. So what's everybody doing?
3.
Okay, so what's everybody's plan? You see your friend get pushed back.
He gets pushed back.
Yeah, well, she pushes him back like a few feet. Like they were dancing, and all of a sudden she pushes back, and then she yells that, liar, fiend. You hear that part.
Okay. I would try to entangle her, I think.
You're going to cast the entangle spell?
Yes.
Okay. What about Euphemius?
I don't think I'm within 30 feet. So I'm moving.
You are. You're within 30 feet. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to give her a command.
Oh, nice. Okay. So spell. And what's Tyr doing that you just get pushed away?
I would say, no, seriously, my lady, just come to the door and I can show you that the world has changed.
Okay. So roll initiative. Okay, she got a 1, so you're going to go first. So spells go off. What's the command that you're shouting?
Sleep.
Okay. You shout that out, and she seems to just ignore you. And when you try to cause the entangle spell, the roots and stuff come up in the area, and they actually, let me just see what the spell does. I think if I know the spell enough.
Yeah, it's like she just gets a sorcery save.
Plants and underbrush enchanted to entwine, trapped all creatures with. Okay, so yeah, that's what I want to check. So all the stuff comes up, and actually your thief friend gets entangled. Probably make a saving throw.
Sorcery save.
Sorcery saving throw to see if you get.
Roll a 5.
Roll a 5. Okay, so you're entangled now. Inside the thing that none of the stuff brambles up around her. Like literally, there's a circle around her that nothing grows. Both being spellcasters, you probably have a feeling that she has some kind of spell resistance.
Yeah. All right.
Let me just see what this does to you when you're tangled. Okay, so it lasts 1 turn. So you're in here for at least 10 minutes. Unless you cut your way out, I guess. And stared and twisted about the victims unless they make a saving throw, in which case they will. Okay, so you get half. May half move, negotiate. Okay, so you can actually move just half. Exceptionally large. Okay, so yeah, so basically you're in. It just slows you down more or less. So you will be, if you try to leave the area, you're going to take 2 rounds basically instead of 1 to get out. Tyr.
Sorry,
She
Tyr.
actually is focusing her energies, we'll say, on Tyr right now, because you upset her so, and she is going to. She reaches out with her hand, and you see a bright flash of light come from her fingers as she kind of like reaches out and grabs you more or less. I mean, she tries to grab you. Let's see, what is her? I mean, I may hit. She is. Oh, there she is. Okay. Another thing I didn't think you'd hit. Actually, she misses. I'm sure she rolled 2. There's no way that hits. Although, actually, what's your armor class with no shield?
I'm no shield 8.
All right, let me just check because she is decently high hit dice, and unlike everybody else, you don't have like amazing armor class. An 8 for her hits. I don't know. You know what? That actually does it. No, she rolled a 2. You're armor class 8, so she only needs to hit you a 5, but she doesn't hit you because you rolled a 2, so she misses.
Nice.
And we're into the next round of initiative. So what does everybody want to do? You've got one slightly entangled thief and one fey lady that's not very happy about what he said to her. Tyr, what do you want to do?
Well, obviously she's not I can't convince her, so I guess I will draw my sword.
Oh, okay. And how about the gooch?
The gooch, he will try to mesmerize her with my song. It's not quite magic, so maybe.
Well, it'll go off when magic does. Yeah, I'll look at it.
Right.
And me too.
Oh yeah, sorcery save, but I'm still gonna try it.
Yeah, you can try it. And Euphemius?
I'm casting a spell. I'm
Okay.
casting Mount to summon a riding horse.
Fenrir's gonna bolt, guys.
I love it.
No, get us all out of here, hopefully.
All right, that's cool. Does it say how long it takes for it to come, or does it just magically appear?
Let's see. Duration. Wait, duration isn't very long. 3 turns per caster level. Let's see.
30 minutes per cast.
Arrives. Let's say, it doesn't say how long it takes to get there.
Yeah.
It's summoned, so I think it's maybe magically.
Okay. If it doesn't say, then we'll just assume it just appears like maybe the next turn or something, or the next round. Because I'm curious if it's pulling an actual horse or if it's like making one appear magically. And if it doesn't say, we'll just assume it's.
Well, it says summoned, but then it says there's a distinct possibility that a rider somewhere in Hyperborea has been temporarily deprived of his steed.
Yes. Okay. So that it magically appears.
Oh,
Oh man.
here's somebody fall.
Oh, somebody falls on their ass. The king of Sarnath. Okay, so let's just look at this for a second. Mesmerize. Once per day, recite a song or poem laced with weird vibrations that permeate the universe. The bard might play a flute, a panpipe. Can take no other actions. Target must be within 40 feet. They must be intelligent. That's fine. Allies, traveling commanders are unaffected. Targets are allowed sorcery saves. Savers the willpower adjustment. If applicable, those who fail are mesmerized for as long as the bard continues to mesmerize. Okay, victim minds can be imprinted with suggestion effect. It's as spell. So I'm going to say that she's probably immune to it. Yeah, but I mean, you'll find that out as soon as it happens. I mean, you have no way of knowing really until you until you do it. There's a good idea, but I think in that case she is, because it literally says under the thing immune to all spells except it lists the spells that she's not immune to. So it's pretty specific.
I'll still get to sing to her.
Yeah, you still get to sing. You're still going to try. I mean, what I am going to do, actually, I'm going to do something there. It's not going to work magically, but I am going to have it do something. But let's roll initiative anyways. Tier.
1.
Oh, she got 3 out. She's going to go first. She's still pissed off at Tier, so she's going to try to blast you again. She rolled an 8 that time, which does hit, because I checked and you needed 5 to hit you. It does. All right, so you get shocked by this woman. It's almost like she rubbed her feet on the carpet and gives you a shock. 5. And you're going to actually take 12 points of damage.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
You down?
No, I have 9 left.
Yeah, so she shocks you. And then, so spells, so you cast your mount spell, which I guess the mount is going to appear. The mount appears with the trappings of a some area of Hyperborea. So yeah, you're like, oh, that's cool. So a horse appears. Does it have to be a horse, or does it say what it's going to be?
It could be a camel.
Camel.
I don't know which would be better in this situation. So
let's roll. Let's say do an even odd roll to see which one is one even roll.
All right, so odd is camel, and I got 4.
Okay, so horse. All right, horse appears out of the brush. Suddenly there's a horse. And finally, so what I'm going to allow you to do is she actually hears you reciting a poem to her.
Okay.
So go ahead and make a D20 roll and try to get under your charisma.
Okay.
But add 5 to the roll.
Okay, my charisma. Now I have all my papers there. Add 5.
Yeah. So D20 plus 5. Yeah.
Ooh, 10. So that's under my charisma is 16.
Yeah. So she actually, after she blasts him, she hears you and she turns towards you and she says, such beautiful words. Come, dance with me. And she kind of just turns towards you.
And I am singing or reciting, or in honor of the late Kenny Rogers. Baby, when I met you, there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine-tooth comb. In that vein. So, just so you know.
Okay.
I love you, Bard.
She seems to be interested, and she beckons for you to come to her.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of walk over there, trying to give Tyr a chance to hack his way out of the entangle.
Okay, yeah. So you drew your sword. Do you want to hit her when she's turned, or do you want to cut yourself out, or how do you want to handle the?
I will try and hack my way out of the mines.
Okay. I'll say if you do that, then that just ends the entangle for you, so you can move full speed next round. That's a good idea.
Okay, so we want to get on
okay.
the. Somehow
So
we have to get on the horse and get out of here.
Okay. So yeah, you see him hack out, and then you stop singing, or stop moving towards her, I should say. Okay, cool. Let's go into the next round. So you're basically all sprinting for the horse.
That's what I'd like to try. Don't you think, Euphenios?
Is that the plan? Yep.
That's the plan.
Sure.
All right, she only got a 1. So yeah, you guys start to run for the horse. The only problem is the thief starts to move, and you look at the mushrooms in front of you, and you can't bring yourself to walk through them. So you guys jump on the horse, and you're like, "Come!" And he's just like, "The mushrooms."
Oh God, I don't have any kind of dispelled magic.
When I did command and it didn't work on the woman, that used up that spell, right?
Yeah, exactly. You cast it and she just had spell resistance, basically.
Do you have any other commands you can tell Tyr?
Yeah, well, that's why I only have one, and that's what I was going to try to use it on him, but I've used it already. I'm going to cast a spell on Tyr.
Okay.
From horseback.
Okay, all right. And what about, I mean, Tyr, you feel like you can't penetrate the circle, but what do you want to do?
Well, there's not a whole lot I can do besides either attack her or trying to convince her that we need to leave. Well, in vain, I will turn to her and say, "My lady, I'm being serious or honest with you. The world has changed. You have been trapped here."
Okay.
Oh my God.
And what about the bard? What do you do?
Okay, I'm going to cast on Tyr, if he doesn't make his sorcery saving throw, rainbow pattern.
Okay.
He'll have to doltishly follow the interplaying colors, and I can move it 30 move to the limit of its range, which is 90 feet. So I'm going to try to make him come out of the mushrooms by showing him pretty colors.
Awesome.
Okay. So go ahead and roll initiative, Tyr, for this to see if she goes first or you go first. Oh, she rolled a 1 again.
Roll the 4 again.
Okay, so you guys go first. So go ahead and cast your spells upon your party member.
So I'm cast rainbow color, so he has to make a. Well, I don't know who would go first.
Yeah. Who has the higher dex? Euphemius.
17. I do. Probably.
I have 17.
Oh, we both do.
My dex is 16.
Okay, so no, because the spell casting will always go first. So actually, melee goes first, but
Yeah.
you're not melee. You're just talking to the lady. So the two spellcasters, the highest dex is the bard. Right?
Okay.
Okay, so your spell goes off first.
So it says the rainbow hued, so he has to make.
Yeah, so he can't. I mean, normally, like you might be like, well, I'm just going to allow it to work on me, but because he is being charmed to not leave the circle, I'm going to say he gets a sorcery saving throw.
All right,
So-
I rolled a 15.
Okay, so you made it. So her spell does not take effect on you. Yeah, unfortunately, but that's a really good idea. Now, what about the rune gravers?
Enlargement.
Oh,
Hopefully, if he's bigger, he'll be able to push his way through the mushrooms. We'll see.
oh, interesting. Okay, so you're going to make him big.
While he's saying, "No, seriously, I'm telling the truth" to this woman, he's all of a sudden starting to go.
All right. I mean, I guess you would still. Well, it's not. I'll say that you wouldn't need to save. If you want to be grown, you can be grown.
Of course, no, he's not going to fit on the horse.
That's not going to force you out the. I don't think it's going to force you out anyways. Let me just make sure. And she drops her hands down to her side and she says, "Oh, I like a big man." And begins to look at you amorously. Yeah. So yeah, she doesn't attack you because you're big, and she likes that apparently.
I do have a dashing facial scar.
Yes. So she's just kind of looking at you, and she does not attack you this round. So what does everybody want to do next round?
So did she react to what I said to her at all?
Yeah, that's what she did. She wants you to stay here and make love to her with your new giant body.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want
She doesn't care about that. She's like, she's into you now.
to. Great.
You know, the fake
Any
creatures.
magic I can do on him.
Well, I can't convince her. I
You
guess I
still
could
can't
attack.
come out of the mushrooms.
Well, do I have enough common sense to want to leave the mushroom ring?
You feel compelled to stay inside the mushrooms.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what I want to do when it's my turn.
Okay, go ahead. What is it? Because it's up for all initiatives. What is it that you're going to do?
I'm going to get the rod and the crown, and I'm going to command him to come out of the mushrooms.
Oh, interesting.
Good job.
Okay. What about everybody else?
I think I might plead with her that we need to leave.
Okay. And Euphemius?
I think I'm just maneuvering the horse around so that.
Okay. To get the giant man on there. You may have been better with the
horse.
Oh man, okay, that's cool. All right, that's awesome. So let's roll initiative. Let's see what happens. Oh, she got a 6 set.
5.
She's gonna go first, but she is not enraged at you anymore, and she's just trying to seduce you. She's touching you in places that we really can't talk about on
YouTube.
Yeah. Okay, and then sorcery, which would be, you're like, we have to leave, and she's like, so, you can imagine that however you want. So go ahead. You put the crown and the rod on, and you activate it, and you say what?
I say, Tyr, obey your king. Come to us and mount our noble steed.
Okay.
All right.
In my best bardic resonant king voice.
Okay, so this basically affects anything of 9 or less. We're balancing power here. Whose magic is more powerful is basically the question. So at the very least, I'm going to give you a saving throw, basically to break the spell of not being able to leave the mushrooms, but I'm going to give you some kind of bonus to it. So let me just look at her power here. All right, I'm going to give you a bonus or a penalty, I should say, depending on. So let me just quickly check her out. Where are you?
I will also say, don't be an idiot. There'll be plenty of ladies where we're going. I am your king. I have a harem.
Okay, so she is. Oh, actually, so she's slightly. Okay, so you get +1 to your saving throw. So make a sorcery saving throw with +1.
12.
Oh, come on.
Oh.
So you're just like, well, I'll see you later, guys. And you start to, engage the fake creature. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing, I suppose. You see your thief friend getting down.
If you're going to be trapped in this place, this is the place to be trapped. There's probably food in here. The atmosphere seems good. Maybe this is the reward that he's been seeking.
So we just leave him? I can't get him to come even with the scepter.
We still have to find our way out, and I fear that the ocean is creeping back in.
Yeah, if you're just a time clockwise, if you are planning to leave at the 6-hour mark, which would be the absolute latest that you could leave, you've got 1 hour and 40 minutes, and you got to get out of that to get out of this place and on the road.
Okay.
It's up to you how you want to do it. He doesn't seem to want to leave. He is engaging with the fey creature, and inside the mushroom ring.
Okay.
You guys might be a little embarrassed. I mean, you've known each other for a while. Maybe you've seen this before. Who knows? We don't know how close you are.
Let me see if I have any last thing to try. Let me just make sure. I tried the rainbow. Fairy fire won't do anything. Is it a song that she's singing to keep him in? Do I know?
Now she's using her womanly wiles to.
Okay.
I mean, if she's singing, then you can't hear it.
Okay. The only thing I could think to do. Okay, I'm gonna try one more thing.
Right.
Before we leave. Oh God, this might go very bad.
Okay, I like that. That's the best way to think.
I'm gonna hand Tyr a poison vial and say, offer her a drink, and tell her it's an aphrodisiac.
I mean, he's 10 feet inside the mushroom circle.
In the mushrooms.
You'd have to go in there if you want to do that. I mean, you can walk in there and do it if you want. Nobody's stopping you.
I am. Can you just toss it?
I will. Yeah, no, I will try to toss it to him.
I mean, he's probably otherwise engaged. I'm gonna say. I mean, they're kind of getting busy.
Okay, what if I yell at her? If we kill him, we can drag his body out, right? Or somehow, if we kill Tyr, then we could take him with us and maybe find a healer when we're out of Sarnath. I'm just trying to think of something. No, I'm not gonna do that. I guess I can't do anything else.
Kill him if you want. I don't. You can do anything you want. That's
I'm gonna have Tyr try to give her the poison. I have an ingestible poison.
All right, so you're gonna try to get Tyr's attention. Yeah, you can try to do that. Make
I'm gonna try it.
I'll give you another saving throw to like pay attention to your friends, but this one's at -4 because you're busy.
This is a last ditch effort.
Or +4, I should say, on your roll.
7.
Okay. Then.
Okay, no, all right. Well, I guess we have to. Oh my God.
You know,
I guess
fake
we have
creatures
to
are
leave.
incredibly beautiful, and it's hard to resist. So, yeah, unless you want to physically go in there and get him, you think at this point he's probably lost.
What if
I
they
can't.
try to destroy the mushroom ring?
We could try. That would be the last thing we could try. I don't have any kind of fire spell or anything. Do you?
Nope. That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
I have a tinder box. I could try to light it on fire, but it might take the whole jungle down with it.
I mean, mushrooms aren't particularly flammable, so
Right, yeah, they're not.
I think you would know that before you take the time to do it. I mean, you can certainly try, but that's not going to have a very good chance of just lighting the mushrooms up.
I'm gonna, I guess we're gonna leave.
I'm going to jump off the horse, get my two-handed flail, and start whacking at the mushrooms and see if that last-ditch effort.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so you're like, okay, fine. You were ready to go 2 rounds ago. You're like, all right, forget it. Yeah, you jump down and start hitting the mushrooms, and when you do, the creature or lady, depending on how you want to talk about it, she pushes. I mean, you know, to Tyr to the ground and sees you, and her eyes light up, and she's gonna try to blast you for doing that.
I'm still on the horse, by the way.
Yeah, I know you are.
You're the horse.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give her a blast because you're doing that, and then after that we'll roll initiative because she, you know, she kind of just does it. You weren't probably expecting her to do that. Although she's terrible at blasting. She must have. So you see a blast of electricity shoot from her as she stands up and starts to move towards you. Ephemius, what do you want to do? Everybody.
Well, can I dodge it, or
She missed you. Yeah, you can.
She missed me.
This is the next round. Yeah.
All right. So have I attacked the mushroom at this point? Or
You knocked away a bit of the mushrooms. I'll say that. Let me see. I'll do it this way. You feel like it would probably take another, like, a few rounds to get rid of enough mushrooms to make a path if you want to try to break the circle, because they're 10 feet deep in mushrooms. So you got to kind of.
She hasn't hurt me yet. I'll keep whacking at the mushrooms then.
Okay.
Is he, now that she's blasted at Euphemius, is he more amenable to if I do the king thing again?
Yeah, you know he can't leave the circle. He's been mesmerized.
Okay.
I felt that already. Yeah.
I will help make the path through the mushrooms with my axe.
Okay, yeah, so you guys can do. Okay, good. That'll take less time than let me actually do this. So
we're trying to save you, dear, but you know we might have to leave you. Just sorry.
Oh, hey, it's my fault. My fault. I walked in.
Yes, you start chopping away at the mushrooms. Tyr's kind of at this point. I'm going to say that at least for 1 round, you're kind of like, whoa, putting your pants back on before you can really do anything. You know, figuring out what the hell just happened to me. So I'll have since you're being attacked because everybody's rolled initiative. No, actually, Nicky's never rolled initiative, right? So Nicky, you roll initiative for this part of the combat.
Okay.
D6.
I do.
Yep.
Oh,
Right.
2.
Oh, simultaneous. Oh no, what's your dex?
17.
Okay, what's her dex? She's actually pretty dexy. Her dex is also 17, so it is truly simultaneous. So whatever happens, well, you're just going to chop away, right? You're not attacking her.
Yeah, no, I'm not attacking.
So she's going to try to blast one of the 2 of you. I'll just go like this because you can't do both. She lands 1 attack. I'll go even will be Euphemius. Odd will be even. Okay, so Euphemius, she tries to blast you again.
So you're worst.
Misses again. Wow, you're good at avoiding blasts from fairy women inside circles. And you chop away more at the circle. You're about halfway through. I'm assuming you're going to continue what you're doing or no?
Yep.
Yeah, because we're trying to get him out.
Yeah. You could attack her or something if you want to, but you can't leave the circle until the circle, you know, potentially once the circle's broken, you might have a chance.
Assuming she's facing away from me at this point, can I backstab?
That she knows you're there, so I'm going to say no. You can attack her from the back though, which will give you a +2 to hit, but you won't get the multiplier on the damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is for next round, right?
Yep. So let's roll initiative for this.
Okay. 3.
Oh, she got a 1. She's super slow. Okay, so go ahead, make your attack from behind.
You said +2, so.
Yep.
5 target AC.
Nope. You try to stab into her, and you hit her skin, and it is like steel, and like sparks flash out as you do it.
Wow.
Okay, because you backstab her, she's gonna just turn around and try to grab your face because you did that. She was gonna attack one of those guys, but she got a 6, which I don't know if that hits or not. I gotta look because your AC is not great. A 6 hits AC 8. Does that hit you?
Yeah.
That does hit you. Right? All right. She tries to grab your face. She does 4 + 5, 9 points of damage.
Oh no!
I'm done.
That kills you. Drop to 0. So you actually die. In this game, you go to unconscious from 0 to -3. -3 to -10, you're bleeding out. -10, you're dead. But from all intents and purposes, from the outside, it looks like she killed him. He drops. You wouldn't know that he's not actually dead at this point, unless you want to continue to try to save him. You just see this woman turn and grab him after he tries to backstab her, and he goes and he just falls. A big giant.
Poor tear. Oh, should we just go?
I think it's time to go.
All right, let's go.
Okay, you get on the horse and
We've
ride.
got our crown and scepter.
Yeah, with your crown and scepter. I mean, the horse is not going to move super fast through the dome because all this stuff, but you can. I'll say it will be as fast as it took you to get there. So as you surface from the dome or come out of the dome, you get you come through those big doors, and now you're back out on this path. You remember the path that I'll share it again.
So I think there are 2 things we know about. One is that there's some rubble near the dome, sort of on the west side of the dome, going up to the wall, but that's still about 150 feet from top of the rubble to the wall. The other thing we know is that there was a trapdoor down in the southeastern corner, and down there where and so maybe there's some way into the wall over there.
What is the sea level? Is that just ocean, just complete ocean, or is there the wall is also? I forgot.
This over here is basically a very steep hill of muck and mud. Okay. You don't know how hard or easy it would be to climb that because you never went that far to explore it. Keep in mind that this is like, even to go to here is going to take you, 15, 20 minutes because this is a huge area. So you probably have to choose one or the other, because if you went, let's say, to here and it doesn't work, you're probably not going to get to here if that's what you're thinking.
Okay.
Within the time period. So there's behind here, there's again rubble and stuff that brings you up about 150 feet. So you still got 150 feet to go. Up here, you theoretically could climb it up, but you don't know how hard that's going to be. Okay. And then over here, you have no idea what's through that trapdoor. You couldn't open it before.
When we were at the trapdoor, did we look down the wall to see if there was anything we could see down there? I thought there was.
You saw the entrance and it wasn't blocked. You couldn't see into it, of course, because of the angle you were at.
Right. Well, do you want to go back there?
You did actually feather fall down, so you may have turned and looked, even though you didn't specifically say that. So I will give it a chance. Let's say you can, both of you that are still alive, can roll a d20 and try to get under your intelligence, and then we'll see if you noticed.
Oh, I got a 6. That's under my 13.
And I got 11 out of 11.
Okay, yeah. So you both remember you that when you feather fall down, you looked into that opening, that kind of passageway. It was about 2 feet of mud on the ground there. Like, it looked kind of full. You might be able to get up that way, but you think it's probably mostly blocked. It'd be difficult, but not 100% blocked. Both ways are going to be tricky. You think, either way you go, without climbing with rope or something like that, is going to be some kind of a chance you might not make it, because the time it'll take, but you don't know which way is better based on. I guess the only advantage of going this way for sure would be that you're closer to the shore by like a mile.
Yeah. And the horse obviously isn't coming up either way. So
that's right. The horse is not going to make it either way. It will actually get you to those places faster, though. So actually, it'll take only 1 turn to get there instead of 2.
Climbing
Which
in this
way?
game, there's no skill for it. It's
No, like mechanically, I'm gonna have you guys do like a test of strength. If you want to go up the back part, like up here, just mechanically, so you know what you're facing. This would be a test of strength times 3 because you got to do it to cover a long distance. Yeah, if you go this way, it might be you don't know what's in there, so I don't want to tell you. But either way, it'll be a mechanical test. It won't be automatic unless you know.
What do you think?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
who knows? Let's go for the one that's closer to the shore.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, why not with the more? Okay, good. So 1 turn. You get there. Yeah, so you guys ride up there. Around that time, inside the Fey Circle, Tyr's waking up. He's shrunk back down. He's being tended to by a beautiful woman for all eternity.
So bad.
It wasn't so bad. You, although you guys didn't close the door, so we'll see what happens there. So you get to the area. It's like I said, it's got about 2 foot of mud there. But as you start to explore through it, you can see that actually it's mostly in the entranceway. And as you kind of move it aside, you can make it up those stairs. You get up there, and you've just got that one thing to open the door. You got to push open the trap door.
Okay.
It is quite heavy, so it's at a -1. But there's 2 of you, so you get +1. So basically, you got to make that door shut.
Okay, do you want to roll it? I'll help
Yeah.
and I'll assist you if any.
That
You probably
sounds
have bitter strength.
I was just double checking that I didn't have any spells that would help. But I don't
Oh yeah, or a spell could do it. Enlarge would help.
Alright.
Yeah, and we have a giant guy making. Okay. I don't have.
Okay, it's a 3 out of 6.
Yep. So 1, 2, or 3.
Rolling a 3.
Yes. Okay. With some effort, the 2 of you together push the thing open. It's kind of like stuck to the mud. Push. You push it up, and you can see that you can climb up onto the wall now. Down below the horse that was all in these like fine, banners and stuff on it, maybe from some kind of a parade or something, disappears. Although it was coated in mud when it left, so that'll be a good story for somebody, I guess. And yeah, you guys are on the top looking down into fabled Sarnath with your loot, and you got enough time so you can walk back to shore and survive, unless there's something else you want to do from up here.
We want to say a word for poor Tyr.
Yep.
Yeah. Alas, poor Tyr. I knew him well. He gave his life so that we could get. I mean, we didn't get a lot of treasure, but we did get the king and rod from the king of Sarnath. I think that's pretty good.
I think
For an
that's
8-hour trip.
That's legendary treasure.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. That crown, if you were to try to sell it, was worth a fortune. But really, you came here for the glory, and if anything proves that you entered in and left alive from Sarnath, it would be the items that you got. So, yeah,
Tyr gave his life
I
for
would call that
glory.
very, very successful mission. Tyr will say that because I'm super nice, somehow magically the dome closes so you can live eternity under the sea with your Fey, we'll say partner. So it doesn't flood in and destroy you. But yeah, you guys, when you get to the shore, you're kind of scraping the mud off and getting your actual horses. You see that the lake pulls back in and covers Sarnath for another 100 years as the sun rises. So excellent. Well done.
A little early, but hey, it was a good